All right, the first reactions to Supergirl are in. What do we think? What do you think about Jim Carrey coming back as the Grinch? That's cool. George Lucas wanted an Emperor Palpatine series, but hey, when I said it, everyone thought I was an idiot for bringing that up. But I wonder if everybody thinks that it would be cool now because Lucas wanted it also. But who knows? Spider-Man stuff. I went to the parade yesterday, guys, after you told me to. So talk about that a little bit more. And I have an interview today with director Joe Burke, which will be interesting as well, too. So myself, Winston A. Marshall. Let's get into it. Here we go. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Mouthful of apples, as we are now going to start off Friday's show. Yesterday, I went to the parade for the Knicks, and I wouldn't have been able to do any show if it wasn't for Winston. Winston came in, hi, and there he is. Thanks for hosting the show yesterday.
Yeah, man. Yo, you need to go do your thing.
Cool. I posted a couple of videos, shorts and stuff too, but I'm going to probably show a little after the interview today. I thought I had some more footage loaded up, but I don't. I'll play some of it for the audience so they can see. But it was pretty magical. I mean, it was like I've seen parades for other cities before, and I've seen it nothing like this. This was insane. This was insane. This like I think it's the parades for most cities, like they'll start at a certain aspect, and they're kind of just there, and that's it. People were walking around in the city, just in the streets. I've never seen that before. It was like San Diego Comic-Con, like that kind of thing where people just walking around Manhattan. I was so bummed because I had this video, and it was my buddies and I we had a couple drinks afterwards. We went down, had a really good meal, but we were drinking a couple, and as we're coming back, people are beeping because cars are not having any luck getting through the streets.
Yeah, I don't know why any car would ever go towards that area. That's on them
at all. But there was, and it's funny because I actually saw there was quite a few footage of this bus and it had a hoop on it, and people were shooting onto the bus and everything too. Apparently the mayor was doing it too, and everybody was shooting around it. And I caught it, and I caught some guy like dunk. At least I thought I did. And I'm sitting there and I'm filming it, and horns are beeping everywhere. So I'm not even paying attention to them. I'm like, oh, they're beeping. So they're really beeping. They're getting louder. I'm like, wow, there's really a lot of them. I'm like, man, I'm glad I got that shot. I look over. The reason it was beeping is because I was standing in front of the car. I was standing like directly in front of the car in the city, in the street, like one of those things. And but it was like everybody was doing it. And
like the parade car, or just somebody?
No, the parade was over. Like it was just like a regular car was trying to get through, and but all this shit was going on afterwards, and the restaurants just couldn't handle. The restaurants afterwards just didn't realize it, because again, it was a Thursday, 2-3 o'clock, and it's normal hustle and bustle on an average Thursday day. But this was like at every table there were lines around the block. We went to this one place, and they were just not prepared for it. And we left because we were sitting outside, and I walked in, and the entire section, the entire restaurant was sat, but nobody had drinks and nobody had food. I go, we are not getting served at this place.
Yeah,
I'm like, there's no world.
That's because they said that this was the biggest parade in, like, the news said, I don't know if that still holds up or if they were just talking hyperbole, but they said it was like the biggest parade in New York history or something like that. That they were expecting that much turnout. So
yeah, I think the city blew it though, as far as how they ran it. Because it was, I mean, you had to get there so early in order to really get a good view of anything at all. And then they blocked off a lot of the street. We even got to a place where the cop literally said to my friend goes, oh, we're gonna walk around this way. He goes, you're probably better off watching it on TV at this point. Right. And so they were trying to get people away from it. People were climbing up on well, I had a guy, at least I'm sitting there, but I saw him climb up like Spider-Man onto this freaking, I mean, if you fell, he would have been dead. And he went up, and he got everyone was cheering for him. There were people all over like windowsills, and it was insanity, right? So but they stretched it out because they wanted to get everybody to City Hall in the right time. So the parade only really went for a certain stretch and then blocked off and got back to City Hall. They should have they had to have known how many people were going to show up, and they should have made it a longer route. They really should have.
Yeah,
People were pretty bummed.
I mean, I can understand that, but I guess that's the thing is it's something of this caliber. Like when was the because I know obviously like parades for the Yankees, I'm sure are a big deal. I'm sure the Giants parades were a big deal, but like
Not like this. Yeah, I mean,
that's what I was saying.
yeah.
I feel like that this is the one team that the entirety of the city I feel like is
It's
united
not a
behind.
or it's not and or, like, as where, like, the Jets or the Giants and then the Mets, the Yankees. It's not an and or. No, when the Yankees won the '96 series, that was huge because the Yankees hadn't won since, I think, like, 1980 or something. I can't remember what the last. I'll let Ed Haskell correct me on that, but, um, or at least they were in it in the 80s. Whatever. It was at least 20 some odd years or almost 20 years when they played and they won. I think it was 78 actually was when
Mm,
anyway, point is they had not won in a while. So that was big for the city. When the Giants won, that was big for sure.
especially because it was what it was two beatings of Brady too. So the
Yeah,
first one
man,
I'm
and
sure was a big
especially
deal.
taking out like the undefeated team for the first
Mhm,
time. That I mean that or first time back since '86. That was big, no doubt. This team for two reasons. One, um, because like you said, it's a united thing. There, most people just love the Knicks. They really are. It's not like Nets. They're not even close. But
mhm,
the other thing is, and we were talking about this yesterday, the team is just so beloved.
mhm.
And not
This
just
this
by New
version of it
Yorkers.
you're talking about.
What?
This version, like, that
This
you're talking about,
version,
like, Red
this
by
version,
Daylight.
this team with
Yeah,
Brunson and Cat and everybody, like, this team is so beloved by everyone. Like, I've had multiple Spurs fans reach out and say, "Look, this was a great team." It's hard to not like them. They're just the way they carry themselves and everything else. They really the biggest thing that people were taking away that were the negatives on the Knicks were the way that certain fans were reacting. It
yeah.
wasn't the Knicks. They were nuts. There were tons of stuff that the Spurs did that you're like, come on. I mean, we were talking about the WWE. Um, Wemby was a babyface going into the series. He left the top
He
heel of
left
the
the
company.
heel.
And so I mean, people were screaming "F Wemby" at the parade yesterday. It was like it's over, you know. Um,
But that's the thing. If I've learned anything about New Yorkers, y'all like a dog with a bone. If you got that shit, you ain't letting that go for
oh no,
nothing.
no, 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 and it was pretty special overall. And then we got back and got to see the boys for a little bit last night, which was cool. Hang out with them. Went back and got home a little early, but I had to take this. I knew that, and the audience was right too. Because I said you got to go. It's a once in a lifetime
Yeah.
thing. Roxy was saying the same thing, and I didn't. Because Sam and I were supposed to record yesterday, like quite a bunch, and she goes, and I told her on because we recorded some House of the Dragon. We recorded 3 episodes, and she said to me, I go, listen, I'm going to try to be back. The parade starts at 10 in the morning. So I'm going to try to get back to the studio by 2. She goes, you're not going to be back here by 2. I said, no, no, no. I'm not doing anything except going to the parade, jumping on train, coming right back home. She was like, we'll see. Comes around 1:30. I go, I'm not going to be back. And she goes, I know, I wasn't planning on it. She's like, but we will have House of the Dragon episodes, episode 1 come out on Sunday after it premieres. Andor will probably have to take a little bit of a not a and when I say a little bit of a hiatus, it maybe like 3 to 4 days or maybe a week because we just couldn't record and she's gonna be busy next week. But then we jump right back into everything. The Schmodown Vault channel right now, Winston, is
Mhm.
moving, right? So
Okay, so everything's all gravy now.
no, yeah, everything's moving. So right now we're actually we're gonna do this for big events and we're gonna do this for finals and tournaments. We're actually doing a premiere today for the finals. And look at that. Josh
Oh,
McCougar versus Mark Riley to determine who will become the first ever movie trivia Schmodown singles champion. That goes down today, and that's going to premiere at 3 p.m. EST. So if you guys are part of the Vault channel, you will check that notification out. We'll see it. And also, because Winston was here yesterday helping out, let's try to get Winston a win.
that would be dope. I would
Got to
appreciate that,
got to
everybody.
beat Smetsy. No, 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 that's not true. It's got to be Roca. Roca's in the lead right now. Roca right now. I checked the stats for because I haven't you and Chris, your stats didn't register yesterday. So
Right, 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 right.
yeah. So as of right now, it's Roca. So we will see. Currently, you have 12 out there. I was noticing as I was walking around some of the news, we got the first reactions are in. Now the question is, what are they saying? Who is it? Who's making the claims that it's good, bad, whatever? We're gonna find out right now. The first social media reactions for the DC Studios title Supergirl are now out and overwhelmingly positive, which is pretty standard for advanced press screenings and premieres. No real major critics have weighed in. Mostly it's just influencers and fan bloggers at this point. Though there are a few reliable names in there who seem to be quite taken with the Craig Gillespie directed film. Reaction comes a full week before the movie opens, which suggests the studio at least has some confidence in the film. That stars Millie Alcock as Kara Zor-El and Jason Momoa as Lobo. Here's a sampling. Jermaine, who is not an influencer, he's a critic and someone that I tend to line up with. He says Supergirl is highly enjoyable. It doesn't quite have the resonance of Superman, but it acts as both a perfect companion and follow-up to that movie with better characters and more complex relationships. It's also incredibly emotional, which makes the action hit even harder. David Crow from Den of Geek. Supergirl is a superhero movie I missed. A straightforward, poignant story with lots of emotion, especially when we see Kara through Ruthie's eyes. Luckily, that's every action scene. Millie absolutely owns the role and will change our idea of Supergirl forever. Supergirl's everything I want it to be. Girls can be messy, and that rules. Kara isn't her cousin, and I really love how this movie makes that clear. She's a different kind of hero and perfect in every way. Let's see. Anybody else that I hear that I know of? Supergirl is the best blockbuster of the summer. Terrific action, but what sells is the heart and the characters. Millie Alcock is a force to be reckoned with. Eve Riley's also incredible. Momoa is a pitch perfect as Lobo. One of the best DC films. It's Geeks of Color. And
Tessa.
I don't really line up with her taste, though.
That's fair, but
I can read. Okay, unfortunately, Supergirl is a mixed bag for me. As a fan of the comic, I was perhaps overexcited for the film adaptation. While Jason Momoa's Lobo and Millie Alcock shine, some adaptation choices and a bland villain keep it from greatness. It's simply put just fine. Okay, interesting. Really interesting all the way around there, because as they say, I mean, a lot of those people that we read are people. Well, I would say outside of like Tessa and a few other people are registered or certified like critics, movie critics, right? I think where you've got Tremaine,
which is why I find it funny that they call them influencers and
Well, I think that they took some of the ones that weren't, right, because I know probably Soups was there and other people like that too, and they go there and they're there to hype up the film, right? And that's the job that the studio hires them to do. Basically, that's for the media side of it, and not these people that we read. And I think that you still have to be wary of premiere screenings. If that was a premiere that they saw, you have to be wary of initial things because you can get hyped up in it. But one thing that I've heard that I find to be super positive that I wasn't expecting, that I saw from a bunch of different people, is they said that a lot of people thought, including this person who saw the trailer, thought it was going to be more Guardians of the Galaxy kind of humor. And quite a few of them said it plays more like Mad Max.
That sounds right.
If that hits, and I feel that way, then I might really enjoy this movie. But the blandness of it, the bad villain of it, and all those things, I'll be keeping an eye out for that as well. But I will say, if it does play like Mad Max, there is no world this movie is going to make over $400 million, even if it's great. No way. No chance.
Why? You think that's going to turn a bunch of people off?
It just doesn't. Those types of movies don't do that. Mad Max, I remember had winning bets. First of all, look at Furiosa. Didn't do that bomb bet. That movie was awesome. And then you look at even Thunder Mad Max Fury Road. That did fine. Did good, but fine. And I remember opening weekend, JTE and Ace said it was going to make $100 million opening weekend. I said, you guys are out of your minds. They still owe me steak dinners. They never paid that off.
It only in America, it only made 45.4.
No, those movies don't move. They don't do that type of feel. I love them. I'll go see them all day long. You'll get the viewership from me. But people don't go see those movies, the post-apocalyptic ones, and they don't do typically that kind of money. And this isn't post-apocalyptic, but if it feels like that. And that being said, I hope it is that movie. And I would much rather it be like if you're looking at the He-Man argument too. I would much rather Supergirl be a movie that people go, "Oh, look, it didn't do well," but everyone's, "Yeah, it was awesome though. They really took some swings, and what a deep, gritty kind of character movie it was, and they really made it work." Like, I would much rather that than a subpar, and if Tess is right, fine movie that just doesn't play that well, that just does okay in the box office.
Yeah, I mean, I think you have to take some bold choices one way or the other. I
Mhm.
mean, I would make the argument picking Supergirl as your second movie in your universe is kind of a bold choice already as is, and not because Supergirl isn't an important character or everything, but I would make the argument that the Trinity is the most important for kicking your thing off. Like you really, I think a lot of people were kind of curious that you didn't go to a Wonder Woman or a Batman after following up
Definitely,
Superman.
definitely.
So I feel like you're already making a bold choice. You might as well lean into it. Um, but I agree with you. If it's one of those things where everyone says that it's good, but you just don't see like a massive turnout, you see like moderate success, then I think that would be good for. I mean, people are gonna find a reason to hate and be like, "Oh, well, you didn't. It only did like 275. That's a trash ass movie." But it's like, I mean, if every single person that saw it said that they loved it, then
If it gets high critic rate, like I always use Dread as the example. If it gets high critic ratings and the fans love it universally, right?
mm,
That like if Mandalorian and Grogu would have done the same amount of money that it made, but people who saw it just thought it was one of the best movies that they had put out in since Empire Strikes Back, but
mhm,
nobody saw it. But
mhm,
critics loved it, and those people who did see it loved it. It's a different conversation.
yeah,
The movie is just it's one of the most forgettable things that's been out in the last 5 years.
right, 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 right.
Um, and so, when you were running that kind of IP, so you just got to knock people's socks off. And unfortunately, from these first reactions, it doesn't seem like it's knocking socks off. It seems like, yeah, it's enjoyable and it's good and it's got a cool tone. And she's great, which I don't think anybody was surprised about, right? Like she's gonna be the reason you really kind of go and watch it. She shined in House of the Dragon, which, by the way, I can say the first 3 episodes of House of the Dragon are out of control amazing.
Mhm.
They're amazing. The first, of season 3.
Oh, season three.
Season 3. Um,
Oh,
it
oh,
is
that's what you were recording. You got a screening of it.
we watched the first 3, and they are amazing, and I really enjoy season 2, and I know a lot of people don't,
I do
and
not.
people and you didn't see it?
No, I do not like season two.
Because there's a lot of talking is what a lot of people's, things.
For me, it was less a lot of talking. It was more whatever they ended up doing with the budget, where they were like, we're doing 12 episodes, we're doing 10 episodes, we're doing 8 episodes. It just felt incomplete. And so it was one of those things where I was like, okay, as long as we're getting somewhere, I'll be fine with it. And it was
Yeah,
like, and then season over, I was like, oh, then F this. This was dumb.
yeah, see, I disagree with that because a lot of people share your feelings on that too. But I think the second you see the first 3, that washes away because all of those because it essentially is already those episodes that you're talking about for season 2 play right into this,
Mm,
and it just elevates it even more. And
mm,
it's essentially one huge season.
mm.
But it's great. I mean, Sam and I we wanted to finish the whole damn thing. We just couldn't get to the 4th episode, but it's amazing. But anyway, I digress. Supergirl is I go see that on Monday morning. So
Mm.
Roku will be doing the show here on Monday morning, and I'm going to check that out. So I'll know. And I think that once what we'll do is kind of go old school, Winston. Maybe is we'll try to get to a we'll definitely have spoiler thoughts for it by the time that it comes out. We'll have a little bit, maybe me and you will dive into it a little bit, and because you'll have seen it by then.
Mhm.
Um, but that's it, man. I think it's if you look back to what it's tracking at still, um, I mean, it's just
They're in trouble. I
they're
mean,
in trouble. Yeah,
after seeing
Toy
Toy
Story and
Story,
everything.
they're screwed.
Yeah, you saw it,
I
right?
yeah.
It's great, isn't
And
it?
it's fantastic.
Yeah, it's
And
so
that's literally the funny thing is in my out of the theater reaction, the thing that I mainly said was like, this is what I was hoping that Mario was going to be able to do.
mm.
because that to me was the major flaw, was that Mario, there was no real character development, there was no level of like story. It was just like, there's a thing and just throw whatever. Versus Toy Story, I was like, what could they possibly pull out of this? Like, I like the tech idea, but what could they? And I was blown away.
Yeah, the emotion was there, the character was there. It really was. It got you the whole way through. And I think that movie will make about $175 million opening weekend.
Probably.
Um, and
What
then
What do you think it'll clear? Like, do you think it'll clear two now after seeing it?
I have to. That's always hard to say without knowing what week two looks like.
Mhm.
But it's certainly not. I wouldn't be surprised if it does. I still think we're getting to the 1.5, 1.6 area for it, maybe even 1.7, because like you look at what those other movies did.
Zootopia and Inside Out. Yeah,
Yeah,
yesterday my guess was 1.7, that it would split the in between.
yeah. So I'd say probably lands in that area for sure. But if it has a huge number, like say 175 opening weekend, the drop on second weekend, let's say if it's 75, let's say it's 75 million for second weekend, right? That's still going to be around 10 to 20 more than what Supergirl does. Um, it's opening weekend.
Yeah.
And there's no Supergirl will not be number one at the box office. Toy Story will be number one two weeks in a row until Minions comes out.
Well, that's the thing. I think Minions will upset it a little bit, and that might be the only thing that keeps it from getting to a
Mhm.
1.6 or a 1.7. But I guess it also depends if is there any sort of reviews yet on Minions?
No, not yet. They haven't screened it
Okay.
yet.
Okay.
I think they're trying to stay out of the way of the Toy Story and not get overshadowed by it, because the story is going to be Toy Story this weekend of the kind of numbers that it puts out. Um, but Supergirl, what are you thinking? 55?
I could see
45?
55. I could see 55. I
Seems
think
to
that
be
that's probably a secure number for the movie. Anything above that, I think, is actually incredible. Like that's because what all comes out next week other than Supergirl? Because obviously Toy Story will still be there, but what else?
Oh, no, I think it's just I think there's nothing huge coming out until the first week of
Oh,
July.
Jackass. Jackass also comes out that weekend.
That's the same weekend as Supergirl. Yeah,
Yeah.
but that's not gonna do I don't know, maybe it'll take a little bit off. I don't know, maybe. We'll see. That's interesting. I didn't say I missed the screening for it. It was at, like, 8 o'clock at
Mhm.
night. I thought that would be a fun one to do with Ming.
Yeah,
Uh,
no, the only other thing that I see, which isn't going to cut into it a lot, but you are cannibalizing a little bit of the same crowd, is there's a Bleach movie coming out, and I know that, like, just in that regard, the crossover of anime and superheroes, you may lose a little bit, but that also might be people that are like, I'm going to both. Screw
yeah,
you.
I don't
So
even know what that is, yeah, and then July 1st, Minions and Monsters, so it really needs to make Supergirl needs to make some kind of money on th that weekend, and then hopefully because Minions and Monsters and Toy Story is gonna cut into it, and then Evil Dead, Moana July is a monster month.
mhm,
Evil Dead, Moana, and then July 17th, The Odyssey. It's like you just look out. So,
yeah,
Supergirl has to have really good word of mouth, and it really has to have kind of a surprising opening weekend. But I think by doing, I still think they should have made this movie for like 80 to $100 million. They should have made it.
mm,
If they were gonna make it gritty like Mad Max and really even go that even more. But it's just and maybe even put it out at the end of the year as opposed to summertime, because it's going to get eaten up. It's
yeah,
going to get eaten up. So
yeah.
I don't know. What do you guys think? Do you think that Supergirl's going to crush? Going to surprise? Is it going to get closer to 60 or $70 million? And Winston and I are way off. Put your thoughts in there. Let us know. All right, I'm going to shift real quick here too, and I want to tell you guys I like to showcase directors and upcoming projects, because whether you talked about Obsession and we talk about these movies, Backrooms, and things, the way that the things changing, as I'm preparing to try to launch my Kickstarter for September, and I want to talk to people that are doing stuff like this. And I had an opportunity to talk to Joe Burke, who you're going to learn his story. He put together a movie and his story and how he put the film together and what he's doing with it. It's really interesting. So check this out, and then we'll be right. A little while ago, and it was from Joe Burke, who's director of this movie, Bert. And he said, "Hey, listen, your kid went to school with my brother's kid." And I said, I remember the conversation. I remember we were standing. But what was fascinating about it is that Joe went out and made himself a movie, and he's getting some recognition on it. And like I said, it's called Bert. And he did it, as I've been telling you guys, that we are in a different age today of you really got to do it, and you got to make it happen yourself, because too many people say, no, you can't do this, you can't do that. And Joe said, screw that. I'm going to do this myself. So joining me today on the show is Joe Burke. Joe, what's up?
Hey.
How are you?
Thank you so much, Kristian. I'm great. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, man. So yeah, let's talk about that. Let's talk about the fact that you said, I'm just going to make this thing. I had this idea. And because of the way you did it bare bones. You really made it happen. And you gotta, it's like the old Kevin Smith model of like, let's just max it all out and do it.
Yes. Yeah. I'll give the audience a quick little rundown. So it's called Bert. It's a father-son grounded comedy, black and white movie inspired by a real life friend of ours named Burt Berger. Not an actor, but a singer-songwriter. He's playing music on the weekends in Malibu at this restaurant. I met him 15 years ago. Big smile, big optimistic personality. Long story short, I got to know him over the years. Couldn't stop thinking about him. I'm like, this guy moved to LA in 1974 to pursue music, never recorded an album, never had anything going. So that's the backstory. And I was like, I want to make a movie with this guy somehow, some way, someday. Cut to, I'm living in LA. I've been here for 20 years. As you know, living in Hollywood back in the day, you're pitching TV shows, you're getting close on movies, you're getting deals to these big movie stars. You wait 3-4 months to get a no. It just gets so stinking annoying. Yeah. And, I just got to the place where I was just like, I want to make I made my first feature years ago. This is my second feature. I've done a bunch of shorts and stuff in between, but I was like, I really want to make a movie. And it just got to a point where I was just like, I'll do it for whatever. And my buddy Oliver Cooper, who people might know from Project X and Mindhunter, a bunch of TV shows and movies. We grew up in Ohio together. We made a bunch of movies together. My dear friend, he wrote and produced this with me. And he's like, yo, I got $7,000 to make this Burt movie. Can we do it? And I was like, yes. I said, I got the phone. Like, yep. I was like, how many days? 7 days. So 2 months later, we're on set. We shot the movie in 7 days for $7,000, 3-person crew. Me, my cinematographer, sound guy. That is it. And that's where it started.
Well, listen, to me alone, there's so much to that. First of all, putting something together and saying, I have an idea. I want to get this made. Here's our budget, essentially $1,000 a day for 7 days. And let's make it work. That in itself is daunting, right? But the other part of it is, because of the age of streaming, and it's hard to get movies like that in theaters. It's hard to get, because everybody now can just make movies and TV shows. It's that the second part of it that's daunting. It's okay, I'm gonna spend 7 days, $7,000 of my friend's money also, because he's putting up to this, and I got to make this movie. I got to make it work. Yeah. What's the goal when you guys go, okay, is there a goal you just want to make the movie? Do you first say, let's just make it, see what happens? Or it's like, no, we're confident enough in this script that we know what we're going to make, and then this is the plan on how to get it seen.
Absolutely. So, I mean, look, as you know, filmmakers want to have movies that people watch. Like, that's what we want to do, right? We're not trying to play to an empty theater. But, look, I mean, I've been doing this for a long time. I started as an 8-year-old kid in the backyard with a camcorder in Ohio, went to film school in Chicago, went to grad school at AFI here. I've been in the DGA for 15 years. I've been a film school professor in Los Angeles here for 12 years. I love it. I love making movies. I love it all. So it was that background and kind of being a very DIY filmmaker for many years. Even my first feature was micro budget. All the shorts that me and Oliver have done over the years have been for basically no money. And it was sort of like being like, hey, why can't we take this mentality of doing basically these tiny shorts that we're doing on a shoestring budget and just put it towards doing a feature with the same mindset? And had you asked me 5, 6, 7 years ago, can I make a movie when I want to go make a movie for $7,000? I'd be like, no way, dude. That's like the cost of like craft service. Like, I'm not doing a $7,000 movie. I'm a professional, man. And you got to get humbled a little bit. And, it's approaching 40. Burt Berger also has Parkinson's disease, both in real life and in the movie. It's not, the movie's not about Parkinson's. It's actually a very crazy little fun, twist and turny kind of movie. But he does have Parkinson's. So does my own dad. Burt and my dad are the exact same age. And I got to a place in my life where I needed to shake things up, wanted to focus more on my career, get the next movie going. And again, more backstory. I sold all my vintage furniture, Studio City. I had a great apartment for 8 years, sold all that crap, moved into my dad's apartment in near Westwood, and lived with him for a couple of years as he had, helped taking care of him with the Parkinson's. And it was in that time where we shot this movie. And so there's a lot of parallel in that. And it felt like it was the right thing to do. And because Burt did get diagnosed with Parkinson's, I wanted to make a movie with him before he was diagnosed. But because he was diagnosed, it really put the pressure on. It's either now or never. I make a movie with this guy who I've been wanting to make a movie with. And, I edited the movie myself. I did the call sheets myself. We did a SAG micro budget. We did it right. We had insurance, SAG micro budget. I'm going home and sending call sheets every night, even though it's going to 3 people, me, Oliver, my DP. Yeah. But like, I'm doing it professionally because I want to treat it well. You know, we're 12-hour days, 6 hours, lunch, 6 hours. I'm doing the makeup. I'm doing the craft service. I got food on the trunk of my car in the morning, bagels and orange juice. Like, I have a whole bunch of behind the scenes stuff on my YouTube if people want to see it. But anyways, it's the mindset shift of being like, okay, I want to do this. I want people to see it. And then the next part we can talk about is then I kind of like finished the movie in our festival journey, which there was a big, I don't want to keep rambling, I'll let you jump inside, but there's a big hiccup of the festival journey we can talk about. And then I said, F it, I'm going to do my own theater tour. And we spent the last 15 months traveling all over the country. I hit up every art house theater in the country. They programmed the movie for a week here, a week there. We're doing 50-50 rev share splits. We're playing film festivals. They're flying me out from Anchorage, Alaska. We're going to Maine. We're going to Phoenix, Florida, all of that. And it just became this big thing. And then the LA Times did a big cover story last year, which really kicked things off. So I can get into more nuance, but that's the broad picture.
Yeah, and I'd like to do that. I want to make it clear to people, and I think that this is what it is. It's so important because I think sometimes people get shy or they worry about, well, I don't want to do that because some people might think, oh, I might feel pushy, or I might feel this, or I might feel that. I don't want to do that. It's like I have a good idea. Hopefully that maybe someone will find it, or if it's good enough, they'll accept it. But going out and really just pushing the walls down is really what it takes. And here's an example of it too. As I mentioned in the beginning, I've met Joe once. I met him at my kid's school once.
I recognize you because I'm a fan of yours, and I approached you at the school and said, "Hey, I just want to say I'm a fan of yours."
I remember, and I remember when we talked. It was like right near as you were walking in,
the picnic table. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. And I remember. But my point with that is that Joe then reached out and said, and this is what something, and I'm using this exchange as an example for people in general. Joe found that moment that we had and made me remember right away. And then he told me a story, he sent me clips, and I looked at it. I said, that's an interesting story. And he took a shot at saying, I've talked to this guy once before. Maybe he wants to talk, maybe he doesn't. And I said but you've got to try to do stuff like that because you want people to listen, and you want people, whether it's I've got a decent sized audience, and then you find somebody who's got a huge audience, and you just keep knocking on doors. You don't know what's going to happen. You don't, and in the same way that where Joe's friend reaches, like, I can do it for $7,000. Let's do it. You got to be passionate about it, obviously. So when you say that about that there were hiccups at the festival, and then you had to do another plan, what were those hiccups, and then what was the plan, and how has that succeeded thus far?
Sure. So just again, I know there's a lot of filmmakers watching your show, so I'll really lay this out a little bit. We shot the movie in March of 2023, 7-day shoot over the course of like a 15-day window. We had a couple of days off in between, make sure everything's going well, etc. Shoot the movie. I edit myself. I'm in picture lock 10 weeks after that. So about 2.5 months of like really editing every day, do the score, do the this, do the that. Also the $7,000 budget, just so it's also clear, it's a $7,000 production budget. It got us all the way to picture lock. So we shot the movie, picture lock, boom, got a cut of the movie. We go to an investor friend in Ohio, raised $20K to finish the music, the sound design, the DCP. Okay, so we're all in at $27K, which is still tiny.
You're right.
We do the 5-1 sound mix March of 2023. So when that went at the end of that year, we're done with the movie, and we actually got David Gordon Green to come on and put his name on executive producer because he's friends with Oliver. He loves these kind of movies. He was the first one that saw our kind of our work in progress. He's like, I love this. We're like, hey, would you want to like just stamp of approval, EP? He's like, of course. So awesome. He started with independent films like this back in the day with George Washington and stuff. Very small movies, no non-actors, etc. Okay. So we have this thing, we have this movie. I'm super proud. We submit to South by Southwest and Sundance and Tribeca and this, and it's all no's. It's 28 no's across the board for the entire year of 2024. We didn't get a single yes in 20. And it was an election year. There's a lot of other agenda stuff. I don't want to have to get into all of it, but I'm aware of some of it. And also, we're a black and white movie. There's no stars. It was just a weird. It was a weird time. I believe it never stopped me from believing in the movie. I got angry at the system. Sure. I had not gone to the festival system until years prior with my other film, so it's been a minute since I kind of was in this world, and I just saw how much it was changing. I saw the way that we had to like fill out these applications that were asking weird questions. It was like, if you like the movie, you like the movie. Like, what do you have to know all this stuff about? Like,
do you get a point of that? Does your spirit break at all during that time?
Oh, I was talking to my mom for real about moving back to Ohio and living in the basement. I'm like, look, my heart and soul goes into this movie. People will watch the movie hopefully after this. My heart and soul, sweat, blood, and tears went into this movie. I may never make a movie as special as this again the rest of my career. I'm aware of this. It's just a very special movie about this guy. I'm like, if this movie can't even get a festival to say yes, maybe the industry has changed so much in the last 10 years that I'm not supposed to be a part of it anymore. Like, I literally was like, what's going on here? And so I took a breather. I slept on it. I spent that whole year. No one even knew I made it. I never posted about it on Instagram. I never said anything except for my family and friends. I don't like to say about anything until, this is another thing, I don't like to announce anything until it's ready to announce. So I'm sitting on this beautiful little movie, sort of like this little secret I have. And I'm like, okay, what do I do? And I just kind of kept teaching film school, living my life. Cut to 2025. We submit to CineQuest. So now we're kind of going back. We started kind of like the bigger film festivals and some mid-size. Then we go to CineQuest, which is still a great film festival, but next tier down. We get in. We have the world premiere, March 16th, 2025. We end up winning Best Comedy Feature there. 2 weeks later, we got into Phoenix. We won Best Picture there. And 3 weeks after that, we won the Special Jury Award in Florida. So those first 3 film festivals that we did play in 2025, we won all 3. And it was like, holy crap, something changed, something happened. And then I pitched the story to LA Times and said, you gotta, Katie Walsh over there, who's wonderful, did this incredible story. And the LA Times, the cover story and the print, it was unbelievable. And we ended up, because of this festivals in the first 3 wins, Oliver and I were like, you know what, dude? Because I was rushing the VOD. I was like, let's just get this online and get it out there. And he's like, and then we're like, why are we rushing this thing? Let's, Sean Baker's been giving all those speeches last year with Nora about, supporting theaters. And I was hearing all those, and I love Sean. I know him a little bit. He's such an inspiration. And I was like, this movie's a theater movie. Let's try, it got the music. It's got an incredible score, a ton of music in the movie. It's beautiful, live instruments, trumpet, the whole thing. Let's try to play theaters. And so I ended up again, this is the hustle. And this is I mean, as you know, Kristian, but to the audience, this doesn't happen without the passion, like you said, and the hustle. So I'm emailing every film festival. We won these festivals. Here's the trailer. Can we get a waiver? We don't have any money. It's a tiny little movie. Can we get a waiver? So many festivals said, yes, love the trailer. So now we're submitting to festivals around the country for free. We're getting into a bunch. We played Palm Springs International this past January, which is our biggest one. That was huge. And the LA Times article. And then we're like, let's just see if we can make some money and do our own theater tour. First of all, I didn't know this was possible. I didn't know you could just email a movie theater and say, hey, can you program this movie? We're playing in Albuquerque. We're playing in Tampa, all over the country. And I'm like, and then I have publicists reaching out. Hey, we want to help represent your movie at the festivals. We'll do it for any rate. I could jump on the phone. We won't do it for less than $2,500. I'm like, are you kidding? I'm not paying you $2,500 to get me 2 podcast interviews. All right, so I'm gonna do it myself. And so I hit up all the news stations in every city we played. I hit up all the newspapers, and that's it, man. And it works because I'm passionate about the movie, and the movie is special. And I understand if this was not a movie that people liked, you have to people have to like the movie. I get it, but it opened my eyes, man. And I'm rambling, but it opened my eyes. Yeah.
No, it's great. I mean, it's you can tell I think that's, to me, the reason why you look at, I talk about it every day on my show, how the business really is changing in a way. The studio movies are just kind of regurgitating, as they always do, but it seems like the audience now wants to support the passion, wants to support newer, fresher ideas, but it's a matter of how you really move it forward. And you have a similar story to those guys, in where they had to build through, they built through their audiences and the stuff that they had on YouTube and big audiences. But what you did was you had to say, okay, you know what? I know I'm not paying $2,500 for a publicist. I'll do it myself. I'll make the phone calls. And it's that self-serve, let me make sure I can do this myself. You be self-efficient to do it.
Nothing's more valuable than passion.
100%. And
nothing's more valuable than passion.
No, that's it.
And
that's it.
Not to cut you off, but I just want to say, the industry is changing so much. The gatekeepers are losing their grip a little bit. Thank God. And as you and I know, the gatekeepers were running the show forever when we were out, living out here and doing all this stuff. Here's the good news. You don't need to play their game anymore. The game has shifted. Curry Barker, who I'm a fan of, and his brother is actually a student of mine, so I know the guys a little bit, and what they did was incredible, and they did it on their own. They did it their own way. I just read that, a studio did want to give Curry $2 million for the script that just came out this week to change the character, and he's like, no, screw that. That's not what I'm doing.
I don't need you to do that anymore.
Yes.
Dude, 20 years ago, you had to, because full disclosure for you, I'm working on this pilot, and we put a really good script, and we're going to do a Kickstarter for it and all these different things for it. And I had a meeting and I almost said, because there was okay, you know what, maybe, because it's myself and my writing partner who are going to be the leads in it. And then we had a couple conversations, and they're like, well, the script's so good that maybe if you gave it to them, decided not to be the leads anymore, and did it their way, to sold it over, because it might be too hard to raise the money. And at one point I said to myself, oh, maybe that's right. And then I said, well, fuck this. I didn't even give my audience a chance to do this.
Right.
I want to give them a chance, and I want to give me a chance, and we have the power to do that now, as where you had the power to do what you did. So,
well, you built, first of all, I saw you build your brand from, when you're on the road to 50,000 subscribers, on the road to 75,000. I watch, I'm a big fan here. So I see you've rebuilt yourself. I know you left and you kind of rebuilt yourself independently, which has been amazing. you have worked so hard. You don't need to give all your hard work over to these suits or these people, these gatekeepers, these people that are going to cling on and take your ownership. What you want to do, and what I'm doing with Burke. So also, we did not sell Burke. Like the distribution, we own the movie still, and we had meetings everywhere. But we're never gonna make $1 from these distributors. We're gonna go through Film Hub. Film Hub is great because they help you get on the platform. They're an aggregator. They love this movie. They take 20%. We keep 80%. But there's no contract of exclusivity. We own the movie. I can go to HBO tomorrow myself and make my own deal if I want to. And that's the future. Is you got to own these properties. And I think what you're trying to say with your show is like, first of all, you're gonna do it. Your fans love you, but you want to be able to get funding for your show and do it your way and keep ownership of your work. We are artists. We want to keep ownership of our work. Right. And I think if you make the show your way and you put it out that way, you can absolutely do that.
I appreciate that. It's very kind of you to say, and it's great to see what you're doing. And then the movie is out right now. People want to go check it out, right?
Yeah, so if you go to the website, burtthemovie.com, you can watch on Apple TV and Amazon. It's all there. Just go to Apple TV and Amazon. The trailer's there. A portion of all proceeds for this first month until middle of July are being donated to a Parkinson's organization here in Los Angeles called PCLA. Awesome. Great cause, great movie. It's a short movie, 78 minutes. I'm a big fan of short movies these days. You'll laugh a lot. It's very funny. It's a great Father's Day movie. This is coming out before Father's Day. And yeah, man, thank you for shining a light on the film. It's very special, and I'm excited for everyone to see it.
Yeah, I'm excited for people to check it out too, and make sure that you do that. I'm going to put a link, both links in the description so you can check it out.
Oh, thank you.
And support the film. So, Joe, thank you so much for being here, man. I appreciate it.
I love everything you're doing, man. And you know, in the future, when you're ready to get down even more to the nitty gritty and talk more, do it yourself, micro budget industry stuff, I'm all about it.
All right, brother, man. Thank you.
Thanks, Kristian.
Excited to have Joe on. Like I said, Winston, I like shining a light on people like that. It's like, so someone who just goes out, does it, says, I don't want to just have to go running around and pitching things all the time. If I can make it, I'm going to make it. And he did, and he got himself through. Even the way he did the festivals and everything else too. It's an inspiring story for people.
No, absolutely, man. And I think that especially that last part of him talking about, like, I didn't realize that there was a point at which you were talking about taking you and your writer out as the leads for it. So I thought that was interesting that he was like, but why? Like, you've built your brand, and if you ever need proof, looking at what Obsession and Backrooms just did.
Yeah, it was. Look, those guys have significantly bigger audiences, but I would challenge how passionate our audience is. Like, our audience is very loyal, faithful, passionate, kind, generous. I've seen it many times over, and they want to make it right. What had kind of happened in that situation was, and the reason why, because people are like, well, why was it taking so long to launch this thing? Because we were going about a different kind of route to launch it, and raising the money and putting things together, and the people involved. And it was like, okay, we want to make sure that we can do this, and they don't know my audience. Like, they don't know it. They don't know. And number crunching is number crunching. And so when you look at, traditionally, when you look at this, they're not sure if you could get to this point and do that. So maybe it is the thing where you, then maybe because the script's so good and everybody loves the script, maybe we just do it the traditional way. And at one point I said, oh, maybe that's true. And I stopped myself and I said, and as I was leaving this particular meeting, and I stopped in the parking lot, I said, I just never gave my audience a chance.
Yeah.
I said, I can't do that. I said, I gotta give us a chance. And that's what I'm gonna do. And so with this guy, this is what he did.
Yeah. Oh, sorry. I thought that you were getting ready to say something else.
No.
I was going to give another example of, a web series that I was a part of last year. The Comic Shop.
Yes,
Cheyenne. She same thing, but like, and what was so interesting about it too, the slight flip of it is that she was actually trying to pitch this out and kept getting turned down. No. And then she was like, you know what? I've built up my audience. Like, I have people that believe in this project, because she did a proof of concept, and then just went for it and like put out a modest GoFundMe for it, for like a Kickstarter for it. That was like, I want to say maybe like 50, and they ended up doing like 212. So like
that's super hopeful for me, because like I said, I think that, I'm just telling people right off the bat now, as we're going through it, like, as I've mentioned, 1.1 is what a show like The Bear costs, right? We're aiming for like $350 to make this show is what we want to do. We want to do like $350 to make this show, but I'm going to set a goal of probably like $250 to so I can, if that's all we hit, then at least I can make something.
Yeah.
Even if I have to scale down on stuff. And I think, and with the audience that we have, and they know that, and you're always upfront and honest with your audience, and you tell them right away, then they're prepared. And if they want to, and they got to want to see the show. If they don't give a shit about it, then they're not going to help you.
You're right. I mean, but that's the thing. I know you haven't released the script yet, which you shouldn't, but like you have put together one hell of a script. So like that in and of itself is going to change a lot. You know what I mean?
I certainly hope so. Thank you for saying it. But more stuff there. Right. So where we're at right now is that I'm basically just waiting for the person who's going to be running Kickstarter. We're just trying to put things together and just come to an agreement. Once that happens, then we can start. We put the goal is to launch by September, so we're working on it. Okay, so let's right now Winston has 27 questions. We need to, if he's trying to monetarily beat Roca, and we've got a good day on Monday, so we'll see if Winston can do it. But we were talking about DC stuff before. We're talking about Supergirl. This has been coming up again and again and again, and it will until we see Man of Tomorrow, or at least until we get information of who she's really playing. And that is the news again. Adria Arjona reignites Wonder Woman speculation with the stunning Supergirl red carpet appearance. Man of Tomorrow star Adria Arjona showed up, has once again got fans talking about her potentially playing the DCU's Wonder Woman after a blistering appearance on a red carpet of a Supergirl fan event. Warner Brothers and DC Studios had a fan event in Supergirl in London yesterday. Man of Tomorrow star Adria Arjona was in attendance with boyfriend Jason Momoa. He plays Lobo in the movie, though details about Arjona's 2027 debut are being kept a closely guarded secret. Maxima has been mentioned as a possibility, though the vast majority of fans and a handful of insiders have the and/or actress pegged as the DCU's Wonder Woman. While Arjona being at this Supergirl event sadly isn't confirmation of who she's playing one way or another, fans are once again doing their best to remind James Gunn how perfect she'd be as Diana Prince. She certainly cuts a striking figure here, and this comes after Momoa seemed to hint at her playing Wonder Woman while discussing his own DC return. I don't know if he hinted at her playing at it, but asked who he'd like to see Lobo head to a bar with, the former Aquaman said Wonder Woman would be just great. I guess kind of.
He's tipping his hat a little bit.
I think so. What happened there? Oh, stupid. Give me a second. There we go. So Supergirl scribe Anna Noguera is penning the Wonder Woman reboot for DC Studios. She addressed her approach to the projects that I try to approach every character I write from a place that feels more true to me. I put on blinders and see what the character means to me before I take them onto the page. Okay. So does this mean because she showed up at this fan event that she's Wonder Woman? It does not. It does not. It means that she was going there to be with her boyfriend, and she's also in DC in one way or another. She's friendly with James Gunn, so that's what that means. That being said, do I think that she is Wonder Woman? Yes, I do. Do I think that it would be an absolute blunder and a massive James Gunn mistake if he made her Maxima? Yes, it would be tragic if he did that because of where she is in her career right now. And after you watch Andor and these other things, especially season 2, you watch her she's on another level in general. And what she's doing in even that movie that she's got coming out recently, she's playing the leads in most things and a female lead in most things. And she's at that step to play a villain like Maxima. To me would be such like a step down. That is a role that someone who's coming up wants to get. Because they want to cut their teeth. And if it's a good, juicy role, cut their teeth, say, oh, who is that Maxima girl? But, and the fact that it's quiet. If you are, this is another reason there's a big mistake if it's Maxima. If it's Maxima, you just say, no, it's not Wonder Woman, guys. It's Maxima. It's Maxima. Because why do you need to surprise people with Maxima? You surprise people and keep it quiet if it's Wonder Woman.
Yeah, that is fair. I think that's probably the correct answer. I just think what's so interesting to me is I do miss a time where like a major character and who was playing them, if it really is supposed to be a reveal in the movie, that this really was kept under wraps and that we weren't doing this a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Versus if you're just like, hey, there's a new Batman movie coming out and Christian Bale is playing Batman. Like, you just announced that because it's like you're not revealing him somewhere else.
Yeah.
You're just like, here's the movie. So like, if we're gonna reveal Wonder Woman inside of another movie, I wish this had been a little bit quieter, but and that's probably why they are pushing the Maxima of it all, is to try and preserve that, because we just don't live in an age where you can get away with that anymore. I feel like.
And someone's like, how do you call it a step down if you don't know anything about the character? Exactly. You know nothing about the character because the character is not iconic. The character is not someone, you know, could it be a good role for her? And could she elevate it because she's good at it? But most of these villains, you look at this villain that's gonna be in Supergirl. The villains are very hard to make work, and the iconic villains are usually the ones that pop. If it was like, you know, if she's playing Poison Ivy, even then I would be like, okay, all right, Poison Ivy, good enough villain, but you know, okay. Maxima, so a villain that you probably know, and you're gonna be defensive, and you're gonna call me names because you know Maxima, and you read the comics back and forth, left and right, and you know it really well. So I don't know because I don't know anything about the comic. I know about the business. In the same way, Winston, when I was talking the other day, I posted a thing about the Star Wars novels. The amount of morons that were writing back about the novels on the Star Wars stuff, and I said that you should adapt into TV, and you should adapt like higher. You know, this is someone who's never read the book, and he's just been on Wikipedia, and I listed like 8 different like authors and everything else too, and it's like there's a potential way to do it. It's like, and I mentioned there's going to be a Palpatine series. Oh, Palpatine would work as a series. I guarantee you that person today, that'll be a great idea. George Lucas said it would be a good idea. But either way, it's like there's it just as far as like a level up when it comes to where she is.
Down. Maxima's a step down because here's the thing. You're not saying like Maxima or Poison Ivy. And like, even at that point, more people have heard of Poison Ivy. So you're like kind of right here and here. Wonder Woman's up here. Wonder Woman is one of the most famous characters of all time. She is considered the holy trinity of DC. Like, every person in the world has probably heard the name Wonder Woman at some point or another. They have not heard Maxima. So yes, it would technically be a step down because one is in like the stars as far as like what people know, and the other is like a character that someone tried to say yesterday when we were talking about Spider-Man. We brought up that the villain might be Shadow King. And someone was like, that's too inside baseball. You can't do that shit. And I was like, except we're introducing the X-Men, and he is a very prominent character. So if you're going to do that, you're going to need to start picking X-Men villains, and that actually be a good idea to do that. That's different than like, hey man, Maxima, she up there, bro. She is not up there compared to Wonder Woman. She really is not. So
like I said, she might be a great character.
Absolutely.
At this moment where Adria is, if I'm her agent, I'm like, she's not going to play like the villain in the movie right now, or a side person who works for Brainiac. Like she's not going to do that. We're working on her. Like, she would have a bad agent if that's what it turns out to be, unless it turns out to be like a Heath Ledger type of thing again. Joker,
but that still wouldn't work because Joker is the same stratosphere, upper level echelon. That's not
1,000%. I'm just saying hypothetically.
Sure.
If someone wrote this script and you're like, holy shit, Maxima we want a Maxima movie now, and we want Maxima like she's got to be the villain in the next one, and we want to know her backstory. That's the kind of role it's got to be, and I just don't think that's going to be it down the line because they got to focus on these other characters. But anyway, I think it's all a moot point because I think she's going to be the Wonder Woman, and I think we're going to find out probably more towards Comic-Con when we find out. Okay, so there are other things happening in the world of movie news, quite a lot of things, to be honest with you. And I thought that this one was a kind of a cool story, and that is Jim Carrey's coming back.
I'd love to hear that, man.
Jim Carrey's coming back as the Grinch. I mean,
he's gonna sit through those prosthetics again.
Well, apparently his clone is. If you believe all the stories, the clone is going to play him. But yeah, it looks like not only is Jim Carrey going to return, looks like Ron Howard is going to return too. So
wow,
this makes a lot of sense to me. There he is, Jim Carrey returning as the Grinch. Universal Pictures and Imagine Entertainment have announced that they are developing a sequel to the 2000 live action How the Grinch Stole Christmas. Carrey is in talks to reprise his role as the Grinch, with Ron Howard returning to direct and producing alongside with Brian Grazer. The sequel has a script by Alec Berg. The same trio also worked on the 2003 live action The Cat in the Hat, starring Mike Myers. That should scare you. That movie was terrible.
Oh, was it?
Oh, it was terrible.
Oh no,
absolutely terrible.
Atrocious. I never saw. Oh yeah, I never saw
atrocious.
it.
It's atrocious. It's atrocious, and I love Cat in the Hat. That movie's atrocious, and it's written terribly. So that's not great news. Release just again, but I will kind of contradict myself in a second. Released just ahead of Thanksgiving in 2000, it was the top movie of the year domestically with 260 million in domestic, 345 million worldwide box office. The 2000 movie has become a consistent hit on streaming and has been along Nielsen's top 10 most streamed holiday movies in each of the past 5 years. Original film took home best makeup for Rick Baker and Gail Raul Ryan, and famously was an 8-hour process, which Carrey compared being buried alive. Okay. So the contradiction is as far as the writing goes, is I don't know what they have written since. So if that's the only thing that you say, you're like, well, they wrote this, but then you list 5 other credits that they wrote and it was great stuff, then maybe they get this one right. I don't know. But if you're comparing, if that's the only thing that the 3 wrote together,
yeah,
then But doesn't matter, even if they do write it. And it is shit, it's still going to make a lot of money.
Probably.
People are going to be excited to have him back as the Grinch.
To have him back at all, because he really said that the Sonic movies, he was like, this is it, I'm done with acting after this, and then he just kept doing them because he was just like, I mean, I really like playing Robotnik, so I'm only doing this, I'm not doing anything else. So then for him to go back to what is arguably, he's fantastic as the Grinch, but it is infamous how much he has talked about how much he hated, was even in that article, how much he hated that process. So I would like to hear this. I feel like, is this April Fool's Day? That doesn't make sense. He hated it and he made sure everybody knew. So
he was miserable, but it was a different time in his life too. It was like right at the height of his like superpowers, and he was kind of, his Man in the Moon era, and he was kind of a little douchey to people. He has self-admitted, and maybe he comes back and it's just different, and the makeup's a little easier this time around. So we'll see, but either way, I think people are going to be excited about it. Curious to hear what everybody thinks. Put your thoughts in there. I want to give a big shout out to both Sam and MK for doing the time codes for us every day on the show. That helps out a lot. We don't have the Clips channel really running right now, so giving people an option to kind of go to the stories and stuff that they want has helped. So okay, the other story that I mentioned beforehand that I'll mention now, George Lucas wanted an Emperor Palpatine TV series. British acting veteran Ian McDiarmid had spoken out about plans for a scrapped Star Wars TV series based around his character of Emperor Palpatine. Speaking at SpaceCon in 2026 in San Antonio recently, McDiarmid briefly discussed plans for the canceled series, which he was told of directly by George Lucas himself. Seems that Lucas pitched him the idea of starring in the project, one which he never made it into production, which would have chronicled his rise in a way not unlike the Robert Carlyle-led Hitler, the Rise of Evil miniseries. George Lucas was talking about, I think I can tell you now, a television series. We had lunch one day and he said, I've got this idea and I hope you might want to be involved. We could sort of follow the Emperor's progress like Hitler's, some of that. There might be an assassination attempt, and of course, it wouldn't succeed. It sounded really exciting, and he also said that maybe you could direct one, and then I fainted, but sadly, that didn't come to pass. McDiarmid didn't mention the proposed series name, but some have suggested it might have tied into Lucas's lavish and long, rumored Star Wars Underworld series. That's stupid. You know what? I love almonds, but every time I eat them, messes me up. That would have bridged the gap between the prequel and original trilogies and would have gone at least 60 episodes. The project was discarded after Lucas sold the franchise to Disney. So this is one of those things too, and I'll go back in this. If people don't understand, I saw people again combating that post, going, "You can't take novels and turn them into things." I'm like, right, because that's never worked. And I did a GIF of Peter Dinklage dancing as Tyrion. Stupid, but you can take these stories and you really can make a series out of them. And I think a well-written story, you don't take the book and then just throw everything from the book and make that the show. You get talented writers, teleplay writers come in, showrunner, to develop it based off of the book itself, and then you make something from there. And you can do 8 episodes of this idea that Lucas wanted to do through the storytelling of what James Luceno wrote. This is brilliant. You can do this. And there is a possibility that it could still happen, more so now today than ever before. And the reason why I say that is if Lucas really wanted this to happen, Lucas is the one guy that could call Filoni and say, Lucas called Kathleen Kennedy and everybody else too over there. And he's like, really thinking I should, we're working on a lot of different things, George. Thanks. Take you for $1 billion and we'll see you later. Bye. Filoni like still holds true to everything that Lucas says for better or for worse. That if Lucas is like, you guys should really try and go and see if you can do that series. And maybe he would. Maybe he wouldn't. I don't know. But I want to see what he's going to do as far as because this is where it can't work as a movie. You can't do villain stories as movies. It's just not in big IPs like this. So I don't know. What do you think about Palpatine's series? Could it ever happen? And is it bummed that it didn't happen back then?
I understand that we just started Filoni's new era, but I think considering how Boba Fett went and considering how Rise of Skywalker went, I don't know. I think if you had gotten rid of one of those, then maybe. But like now that we've seen both of those, there's some hesitancy. I don't hate the idea of it. I just think that like I'm just very like.
No, but we're not talking about after. We're talking about prequel. The Rise.
No, which I understand that. I'm just saying like there was a level of reverence that I had for Boba Fett that's gone now because of that series. Right. And there's a level of reverence that I had for Palpatine that is gone because of the Rise of Skywalker. I think that because you did a villain TV show that did not do well, and because you brought back Palpatine and you kind of ruined his legacy, I think those two missteps already kind of maybe put the brakes on that.
I'd push back pretty heavily on that because first is they haven't done a bad guy show yet.
You're not considering Boba Fett one?
No. First of all, he was an anti-hero he was a bounty hunter who did stuff. In Empire, you could call him a villain. By the time you got him to Mandalorian, he was a gangster and he was, he was a bounty hunter, but he wasn't a villain, right? Like not anymore by the time you got there. But when they went to when they started that show, by the end of Mandalorian season 2, and he assassinates Bib Fortuna, you're like, oh, we're gonna get a bad guy villain, maybe mobster show. And then the second it starts, like, oh, that's not what it is. It's an anti-hero show. It wasn't a villain show. He wasn't a villain.
But I guess I get that. But what I'm saying is, and I hear what you were alluding to of like the bounty hunters, so like kind of chaotic, neutral type shit. There is a love there was still a like before you even got those 1 or 2 episodes of Mandalorian, which then led into his show.
Yeah.
He was really more of considered a villain, even if it was like, I'm a bounty hunter, so I'm just out here trying to get this money.
Series though, but you said the series, they tried to do a series of villain. The narrative was not a villain-led series. It was an anti-hero and explaining the reasons why. Like a villain show, meaning like a Breaking Bad, Sopranos. That they pitched Boba Fett as a Sopranos or a Sopranos type show, which it wasn't even remotely close to it. And the Underworld show maybe could have done that. Darth Maul to me is a villain-led show, like the animated show. That's a villain show.
Mm-hmm.
He's a villain. Mm-hmm. He's a villain, and clearly it works. And the Palpatine stuff with JJ, to me, that hasn't tainted the character itself at all. It just like that aspect of it, of what they did with him and how they brought him back was goofy, but his rise, and again, I'm assuming that you haven't read that novel.
No,
like that novel is a gangster story, and if they could take that story and turn that story into essentially what they did and treat it like an HBO Max type show, you would change your tune in the same way that you change your tune with Pattinson for Batman.
I mean, I would certainly hope so, but I think between the Book of Boba Fett, and to be honest with you, I didn't even think about it at this point, and I know it's not a villain thing, but it's just going back into that well. Obi-Wan. I also was not a fan. I like
Yeah, it's been done well. The shows weren't the shows are, that, but that's all their shows. The shows just have been done well.
Which I get, well, but again, like Andor has, and like the funny thing about that too is like that was also obviously that was a spin-off of Rogue One, but it was its own like thing. I guess it's just one of those things that I'm both in a place of, if you would pitch this to me before a Boba Fett or a Rise of Skywalker, I'm fully on board. I'm in that place right now where I'm like, I would like to see something just new.
Right, but then that's right. But the problem is that doesn't work. And here's the reason why that doesn't work is because people won't watch it because they won't know what it is. And depending on how their best shot at new for outside of the gamer is Cal Kestis. That's their best shot at new because Cal Kestis to most people outside of the gaming world will be new. It's a good way to do it if they were going to do it and combine other things. But what you said, you essentially just kind of agreed with me without agreeing with me, where you're bringing examples of Boba Fett and Obi-Wan and all these shows, and you're blaming it on is the fact that the characters are not, it's not whatever it might be with they kind of tainted it and it didn't work and those things. But then you're like, well, no, but it worked for Andor. Yeah, because you have Tony Gilroy and people who are actually developing character, putting things together outside of that Filoni verse.
Sure.
He did things on the outside. And this is my point of getting the right. You could make this thing the way that I'm talking about it with Lucino, the Palpatine book, and you can get people and do it the way that they did Boba Fett and Obi-Wan, and then your point is valid, and then your point is super valid because your point is then, well, look, I told you, I tried to do it, and my counter is going to be, yeah, but look who they got to write it, look who they get to direct it, and in no world should you had that Benny Hill scene of Leia running around and fleas falling down. It was goofy. If you did it, if you had the same team that did Andor that did that Obi-Wan series with the same story, you wouldn't even have brought that conversation, that story, that example up in that particular conversation.
Yeah. I mean, I guess where the one sticking point, because I know you were saying you were bringing up by bringing up Andor that I'm kind of countering my argument. The only difference there is like, again, and I will give credence because like I said, I haven't I got about halfway through season 1 and I still just haven't had a chance to go back and watch the rest of the show. Is there a bunch of like classic characters that show up throughout Andor?
I mean, they tie it into the series. They tie it into Rogue One.
Which okay. But Darth Vader's not running around everywhere. There's no like Luke running around everywhere. They didn't
have to.
So the only reason I bring that up is like that's what I mean is the idea of, while it may tie, you are not directly tapping on like pressing the nostalgia button of like, dude, look here, that's Anakin's like lightsaber. Oh my God, like blah 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 blah.
But you're making the same point, Winston. But all those things, you could have done all that stuff with the bringing up Anakin or all that stuff if it was written better.
Yes, I don't trust them to.
That's a different conversation.
I guess that's my argument.
That's a very different argument, and to which I can say, if you don't trust them to do this series, you don't think they'll put together the team to do it. Well, I understand that. I get that.
That is more what I'm saying, and I'm realizing that I wasn't articulating that very well. Yeah. I do not trust them to do that.
I got no argument for that. I got no argument for that. I have more of a hope. I have more of a hope that they can do it and that, they put together a team. But it's a moot point because Jeff Snyder reported the other day that apparently the plan is going to be for Star Wars to do one movie a year with 2 series a year. Mm-hmm. That's the plan that they're looking at. And to go off of what you just said, that makes me extremely nervous because they don't seem to have a plan in place with the right team yet to really make that work without further diluting the brand. Mm-hmm. Now, if they're able to do something like, okay, look, we're putting 2 different series out and they're going to be at the level again. And I always use HBO Max or like Apple as an example. Like if you start making shows like that now, twice a year, then you're going to be punching again, and you're going to be throwing some hooks. But if you keep making shit like, Ahsoka and Boba Fett and that, it's like, stop. Acolyte, stop. Just make one, and maybe not even one.
Yeah.
So,
and like, I guess that's just the thing is knowing that I'm glad that we're moving on from Kathleen, and there is a baby bit of hope in me that Filoni will figure it out. But the fact that even though it was technically the old guard, but you were so heavily involved with Mandalorian and Grogu, like, I'm still in a space of like, okay, you're gonna really have to like get my attention here, because like that's just
you
got watching that. I was like, oh, okay,
they've got to win you over, and I think like that is the most important thing. They have to win you over, and I think that is fair. All right, check it out, everybody. Let's see what you think. The Palpatine series, they're a shot in hell that it's going to happen. Should it happen? What are they going to work on next? What's going to be announced, if anything? We got to see. We'll find out soon. Last thing that we will discuss before we get to the questions, I do want to bring this up because this was a big story the other day that Spider-Man, the Brand New Day trailer dropped, and oh man, Winston, I did the same thing I did for the last trailer. It was because we were shooting that day, and so Sam came in and did her reaction.
I saw the numbers on that were insane.
Yeah, people will, and I knew it because every comment was, "You got to let her see this one in the theater. Got to let her see this one in the theater." So if she is around, I'll probably take her to it. We'll do an out of the theater reaction, but if anybody says that freaking reaction, well, it'd been a lot better if you saw it with somebody who didn't see it before, then I'm going to be like, come on. Sony Pictures and Marvel Studios Spider-Man Brand New Day has reportedly posted the best first day pre-sales of any movie in 5 years. Easily the best of 2026 so far, reports Deadline. So it looks like my box office prediction might be right. In fact, really? I said it's gonna be the number 2 movie of the year. In fact, it's the best reported first day pre-sale since Spider-Man No Way Home in 2021. That film opened to $260 million domestically and $600.5 million globally, the second best opening at the domestic box office ever, and the third best worldwide. The news comes as Insomniac Games has announced a free bonus for Marvel Spider-Man 2 game players. Peter Parker's new fresh start suit coming from the upcoming films. 4 years have gone by, yada, yada, yada. Okay, we don't need that. We just want to talk about the box office sales. So, yeah, I think that to go back, we were talking about earlier with Toy Story. Toy Story is probably going to go between the 1.7, 1.8. Spidey hits 2.
Spidey will definitely hit 2. I'm so curious when tickets go on sale for Doomsday, what that first day sales are going to look like. Do you still think that Doomsday is going to do $3 billion?
First of all, without that little laugh in your voice when you said it, I still think it has an opportunity to be the highest grossing movie of all time, which
I believe that.
Well, if you believe that, then you believe that it'll get closer, then it'll get very close to $3 billion.
What's the highest? I thought it's what?
2.8.
It's at 2.8, the highest ever.
Something like that. I think Avatar, one of the Avatar movies, like 2.7, 2.8, something like that. So you believe that, then you believe that it'll get close to 3. So you're not too far off from my prediction if you believe that. Now, that being said, similar to what you said about Supergirl.
Oh, Avatar's at 2.9. Okay. But that's lifetime gross. I'm thinking, like, I get it, and that still counts.
You said last time about how many re-releases that in re-releases, Avatar only did like an additional like 30 or something.
Okay, it feels like it was more because it was going back and forth with.
It still did with Infinity War, but I said it's still maybe double check on that stat. But even if it made an additional,
Okay, so it was at it looks like its initial run, it did 2.7.
Right.
So it still did an additional $200 million.
Okay, but so the 2.7 is still a massive number, right? So
which is fine, which is totally fine, but that's completely different than like
who cares?
It was almost at
who cares? 2.7. We're talking about Doomsday. So if Doomsday is at Do I think that if Doomsday is really good,
Mm.
really, really good, and the hype goes back into the Marvel machine like it used to be, because it's going to be people are going to be coming off the highest Spidey, but it's not really going to relate too much into it. Maybe the post credit scene, if they can do a post credit scene that gets people excited off a $2 billion movie, that's going to help jumpstart. Then the movie's got to be so good that everybody just can't shut up about it and going back. Then it's got a shot. Realistically, I think we're probably looking at a 2.3 to 2.5, but I'm still thinking that if it's as awesome as I think it could be, like if it's awesome, if I go in to see this movie and I go, it was a really solid movie, I'm gonna change my tune very fast. But this movie has the potential to beat Avatar.
Yeah. I mean, yes. I guess that was my thing, is I'm thinking in terms of because 200 million. What's funny about that? I know we're dealing with like now monopoly money when you get to that high. My brain, though, based off of when you laugh at me when I'm like, oh man, I think it'll do like an extra 100. Do you know how much an extra $100 million is? Like,
yeah, but it's calculations.
So,
yeah,
I mean, yeah, but I definitely think it will be in that range of Endgame and Avatar. So it will play in the 2.8 to 2.9 range. But like I'm guessing closer to because I'm still thinking about the economy and everything else. I'm guessing closer to like a 2.65, 2.7.
Okay. Well, 2 points. I mean, that's still not too far. And to go back to your Avatar conversation, if they hit 2.7, then eventually down the road, if they decide that if people really love it right before again, and they re-release it again
before Secret Wars, they would anyway.
So 2.7 is almost as crazy a prediction as 3, by the way.
Almost.
Okay. Almost. So you're not too far outside the range of it. But like here, I see this is the thing that people say. But Abernathy says the casuals aren't there for superhero movies anymore. Well, then how do you explain? And don't say because it's Spider-Man. Spider-Man just broke records. Spider-Man's a superhero movie, so it doesn't matter. Oh, Spider-Man's different. Well, so the Avengers. Now, if you're saying something along the lines of, oh, okay, a Blue Beetle 2 is coming out or Supergirl, right? People don't care the way they cared about superheroes beforehand. I don't disagree with you. But there are certain ones, Deadpool and Wolverine, everyone else, X-Men, I think will still perform. There are some that are just going to perform at the movies. Mm-hmm. And the Avengers and Spider-Man are those people. Mm-hmm. So
yeah, I agree with that.
I knew it. See, I told you. I predicted it because it's Spider-Man. Well, he's a superhero. The casual fans don't care about superheroes anymore. But it's Spider-Man. But he's a superhero. So clearly they care about superheroes. It depends on who the superhero is. And they care about the Avengers, and they care about Captain America, and they care about Thor, and they care about Wolverine, and they care about they care. So as a genre anymore, Abernathy, I don't disagree. I think that it's not as popular as it was. But your argument or what you're trying to say there with, wow, the reason the Avengers won't do because they don't care about superheroes. Well, then Spider-Man should follow that same suit. But anyway, all right, lots to do here. We got 36 trying to get 38, 38 trying to get to take out Roca this week. We still need a couple big ones here to do it, but we'll see. Okay, Nathan, what did Mance think of Supergirl? My favorite Mance moment was during a movie fight. He said, Watchmen is the Citizen Kane of superhero movies. You totally said 100%.
My God.
I mean, so where was it? I don't know what he thought of Supergirl. I didn't see his let me ask him. Hold on. Text Scott Mance. See. Yo, I'm curious. The fans are asking, what did you think of Supergirl? ? Okay, perfect. Something went wrong. Did it send? No, didn't send. Well, we'll have to find out. I'll find out, and then it didn't go through. So, okay. But either way, there are a lot of people who wrote it. I'll have my opinion on Monday also. So, Sammy, as a lifelong Dodgers fan, I totally get why Winston would root for them. He recognizes greatness when he sees it after years of torment from those Cowboys. Yeah, sure. You can jump right off to the
I
bandwagon
mean,
whenever you need to. Man,
I,
it's right. They make it big.
what I was going to say was I find it funny that for like a split second after you won, I was like, "Hey, man, like this is huge. Like you ended up in a scenario where like the Knicks finally broke their 53-year long curse, so maybe the Cowboys." And then I couldn't even finish the sentence because I know that they're not going to do shit because that's just what they do. They just
Oh, the
shit the bed.
Cowboys. Yeah, you know, it's
Yeah.
sad. Well, it's like, look, imagine you're a Jets fan. You know,
That why would I do that?
I know. Yeah, right.
Like
No,
I'm already in purgatory. Why would I sentence myself to hell?
yeah, I know. It's like it's rough. It's rough. Okay. Armada 8YT, Kristian and Sam Toy Story reactions. So maybe for the fifth one, I know she really wants to see the fifth one. So when the fifth one comes out, we'll probably watch it on digital because the other ones, I think everybody on the team has seen them. So, but yeah, Nathan Drake, thoughts on Indy Never Up for Obsession making over 20K when the movie has now grossed over 300 million. That's just how Hollywood works. Well, yeah, I saw this. Look, this is the shit answer that no one's really gonna love. Okay. When they made this movie, there's no world where they thought that they were gonna make 300 million. In the same way that when they made Star Wars, no one thought Star Wars was gonna make any money, right? I don't know all the deals that Lucas put in place with the people that he had when he was making them, but it's incumbent on two people there in the Star Wars scenario. George Lucas, who he's working with, and the people he's working with, they've got to have a meeting and they have to have an agreement before said meeting, before they release everything, to agree on if this movie does well, here's what you get. You can't, in deals anyway, say, well, I have a deal, and because it did well, I deserve more. Well, why don't we negotiate that beforehand? The argument can also be made, depending on their relationship, that he could then say, hey, look, I'm going to throw you a bone. I'm going to throw here's we did so much more than I thought. Here's a check. And he might have done that down the line. I don't know. But a deal's a deal. You got to make that deal in the beginning. You can come up with a hey, they were really close and he should have thrown her some money there. And I'd say, yeah, you're probably right, but he didn't, and that's the deal.
Yeah, I have such mixed feelings because there's a part of me that understands that, especially from like the acting side of it, that most of those deals on those low budgets, it is set into place of here is the base pay, but then the rest is deferred again upon selling or hitting whatever said goals. So that exists in those contracts. I feel less bad for the actors, especially Indy, I guess, in the sense that she is a working actress as far as that goes. So for her, this actually will be clout that pushes forward. I feel more for the crew where there are people that like I was hired to do makeup, but all of a sudden I became location scout. I was forced to be a background actor because we didn't have it. I was doing crafty all of a sudden, finding out they made about 5K. If knowing that apparently this dude has made personally 15 million as far as this has gone and has already been locked in for 3 massive projects as is, the easiest way, like I was talking to somebody about this yesterday. You do the math. If he was willing to like pony up even 900K, you could give everybody on the crew a $10,000 bonus. And that would actually do something for them because they're not, unless he says all of my crew automatically comes on all my projects, which is not necessarily what's going to happen.
Right.
The idea of like, well, you got exposure. That sucks. I don't like that.
So first of all, is that a really morally thing to do and something that he should do? Yeah. Is he obligated to?
No. He's not obligated to do anything, but I will tell you that much that is something that then crew members, especially if it does anything non-union, are going to see that.
I'm with you, yeah. but it also is, and it would to me go a long way of like, hey, you just made all this money on this movie that cost 700. Throw these people a bone, throw them some stuff, but also I would say give the guy an opportunity to do that before calling him out right away. Like, it's only been a few months.
Right.
Maybe he was going to, maybe he wasn't. But wait, it's like, I don't know. What about the Blair Witch? Did those people get paid a tremendous amount of money when that movie came out? I don't know the answer to that.
I don't, but I don't know the answer to that either. But I feel like, at least in this regard, especially knowing more about the business, when you know better, you do better.
Yeah,
so.
100. You got to make deals.
Yeah.
You got to make you got to like. And what this will do, though, I tell you that it will allow people in the future that are doing smaller movies to pay more attention, because now they're going to, well, if it's an obsession type of deal, I got to make sure I protect myself here. And
Which
that's
is
what you got to do.
Which is 100% fair. I just think it'll put an interesting conversation, because the whole thing is like, this just changed Hollywood. Like, all of a sudden we got to look to all these whatever. You are also going to end up in a scenario, like you said, that these crew members would be like, okay, well, fuck you then. If it's not this, it's that. And then that what could be the beginning of something taken off might automatically shit the bed, just because people don't want to do it.
Unfortunately, money talks, right? So it's like there are a ton of crew people that weren't paying attention to it. There are different people. Yeah, we'll pay you an extra money to be on with them. Okay, we'll do it. It's just so there's so many people working. Nathan also says, on Hot Mic, Jeff and Roka were saying they heard that Lucasfilm kind of knew Mando wouldn't do great, and they're not worried about it. So I have said that many times over when they were starting that. I mean, ideally, the goal was, instead of dumping another 150 million or 200 into a streaming show, you put it out into theaters, and you hope that it makes it budget back and maybe make you a profit.
Right.
That's what they're trying to do. It didn't do that. It lost the money, maybe less lost than if they would have streamed it, the movie, the series or whatever. But people have mocked at it. People have kind of scoffed and said, "Oh yeah, sure, Starfighter. That's the one. That's everyone's saying Starfighter, but you can't got to pay attention to Mando and Grogu." I mean, sure, there's no doubt that it's damaged the brand. There's no doubt that part of it they should be worried about, because it's damaged the brand. But as far as we're in serious trouble here, it's not the theatrical movie they're aiming for. Now, every person that says that they're in trouble, and if they say that about Starfighter, if Starfighter breaks even, loses money, warranted, because that is a theatrical aim.
Yeah. No,
how do you feel about
it? I agree with that. I agree with that. That is the aim. It's just to try and do that one way or the other. So I mean, look, man, they at this point it feels like, as we've talked about a bunch of different times, that they're just throwing spaghetti at the wall and trying to figure this out one way or the other. And I just think that was one of those things that they were like, hey, capitalize on what's here, try and go for it and see what happens, but we're just going to push forward. But no, I mean, again, I am very curious to see what Starfighter ultimately does.
12 Bemo became a member. Thank you, 12 Bemo. We have a lot of great members now, a lot of good members here, a lot of things we've been doing. So we got the next Friday, we have the live stream coming up too. So we're excited about that. Mitch Mac 5223. Any ideas on the X-Men roster? I love original team and think that Beast should not be blue yet. Just Harry. Gene in SMB. Spider-Man Brand New Day is crazy. Maddie Pryor. So I'll let Winston respond to a lot of that, because some of it seems German to me. But for the majority of it, I think from what I heard is they're really going to focus in on Cyclops in the first movie.
And if you are, then I think going with the original team is actually pretty smart. And you can, because that'll give you Cyclops, Jean Grey, Iceman, Angel, and Beast. I think that would actually be a smart thing to do. I need to kind of see what's happening in Brand New Day to do that, but I am curious. Like, if you're gonna do the original team like that, then that can't be Madeline Pryor, because Madeline Pryor, again, being a clone from Sinister, that's kind of a few steps ahead. It would be weird to try and incorporate both at the same time, but either way, original roster sounds fun. I would do that.
Mike Rios 1065. Please let Sam have the real MCU fandom experience definitely for Spider-Man. If she's available, if she's around and she's able to see it, I'll take her with me. Matt Krugman. Saw Obsession last night. Fantastic movie, but God, my lady was staying the night at her mom's. I could not be near her for 6 business days. I didn't see it. I don't know what you're talking about.
You still haven't seen it?
No. Did you? You saw it?
Oh yeah, I saw that and Backrooms.
I'm watching Backrooms. I've seen. I'm going to see Obsession with. I want to watch that with Sam and watch it for the first time.
Dude, that shit is unsettling.
Okay.
Yeah.
Comic lovers, sup, you sacks of shit. Kristian Winston, did you know that eating is not cheating and using a shit chute isn't cheating, according to my school nuns? Okay. All right. Ayosha Umetsu. Winston, scold Kristian for not knowing who Krillin is.
I am more upset that Smets didn't know who Krillin was. I'll give you a pass. No. You don't follow anime anything, but I was genuinely like upset to hear that Smets did. I was like, you were an Inner Geekdom champion, bro. What the fuck?
People told me that day who he was, and I still don't know. The Lil Yankee. Happy Friday, all. I'm glad I couldn't make the parade yesterday. Kristian, the TV and social media coverage is exceptional. I'm glad you went though. It was really exciting. It was like being at a festival. At one point I was sitting there with my buddy John Pinto, who I've mentioned many times on the show. I actually posted a short with John Pinto on his own yesterday on the channel if you want to finally see the infamous John Pinto is. But we were sitting there together and we were grabbing a drink afterwards, and he goes, I feel like I'm on vacation. And it really did feel like that. Like it felt like it just a really relaxing kind of cool time. So it was nice.
Respect.
Rocky McFly. I posted this in the Discord comments too, just in case. Oh yeah. So we have it. PLT. I don't know if you we put it up there, but we found it. We got your code yesterday. Thank you. Yeah, because Winston, we had is that it? Oh, here it is. Okay.
Motherfucking Batman.
Yeah, we had deleted it by accident, Winston. So we were trying to figure out where it was, and then so Rocky found it. We found it, Rocky. It's back. It's from Capes and Cal, Spider-Man Team of the Punisher, take on Hulk and Spider-Man 4. See
That's good. Nice. Thank you for doing that, but Jesus,
not only did he do that, he just put in a donation to tell us that Rocky rules.
Someone get this man a shield. Like, what the fuck?
By the way, as I said, noticing I'm sporting it. This one I got at the yesterday from there were people selling shirts and hats and everything. So I was like, I gotta get something from the parade. I got to, and I was like, you know what, I have Nick's shirts and I don't have any Knicks hats. My favorite hat that I ever had was a New York Giants baseball hat that I had. It was a football team, but it was a baseball hat. And I absolutely loved that hat. I had it so long. I think it was the hat that I was wearing when I got made a regular at the Comedy Store. Like I had it forever. Did colleges in that hat. I loved that hat. Eventually just wore down. And I've had 1,000, and I still have 1,000 Yankee hats and everything too. But like I haven't really had a good Knicks hat. And then I found this one. It's like $20. It's great.
There you go. Yeah. I can get down with a $20 hat. Yeah,
it's good too. Yoshimitsu. Maybe it's because I'm not a DC fan except Batman, but I like the Supergirl trailers. I'm excited to see it. More excited for Spider-Man though. Yeah, I think that's the majority of people. But yes, I didn't even see the last trailer for Supergirl, by the way.
Oh, you didn't?
No, I missed it, and I was like, well, I'm going to see the movie, so I don't need to see it. Maddie B, good afternoon, gents. Aaron Paul has reportedly been cast in a minor role in Clayface. That's great.
Love that. I haven't really seen him around recently. The last time I remember seeing him was in excuse me, I want to say it was, if not the last season, the season before of Black Mirror, which he was fantastic. Him and Josh Hartnett. That was fucked up, but it was so good. So I'm glad to see him back.
Mr. I crap and shits. Hi guys, just curious what Winston's take on was Mike's Ron Burgundy moment when reading off rap lyrics in an impression. Happy Juneteenth. First of all, you never hear about this?
I did not hear about this. And what a Juneteenth comment to send about him reading off rap lyrics.
Someone asked him to do a Michael Caine impression, and then they gave him lyrics to do a Tupac song. So he did Michael Caine doing it, and he's just reading it. And Tupac says things that in his lyrics that Mike can't say, and Michael Caine wouldn't say, and this version Michael Caine did. So but Mike caught himself quick and real. He felt terrible about it, and There were some people going, "We're not going to talk about it." I was like, "What do you mistake? I made a mistake," and we deleted it. And we got it off the channel like immediately because it was Mike. He felt terrible. He was beating himself up about it the whole time, and it was a Ron Burgundy moment, 100%.
I mean, the fact that he realized it, caught it,
immediately
felt bad about it, then then I'm chilling. My issue, if it had been like whatever, it's just in the song, then I'd be like,
texted me about it. He felt miserable about it. He was beating himself up, or we got rid of it. And most people were pretty, but people were like, "What? How can you ignore it?" It's like, because he didn't mean to do it. And it was like, and he was reading lyrics, and it was stupid. And I said to him when he did it, I was like, he probably shouldn't have read that one. He's like, I know, I didn't realize it after I did it. I mean, we deleted it. The Little Yankee. I was trying to finish watching Sam's and/or season 2, 1 to 3 reaction before a live show, but kept pausing for jokes. Man, that show hits so hard. It's the best. Yeah, we cracked. That's my favorite is always when people will people who don't know us and they discover us because of whatever, for whatever reason, they're like, "Oh, you guys tell too many jokes." I'm like, yeah, wrong show. You want something else. So, yeah.
Watching you and Ming just fart all of Invincible.
Yeah, that's all. That's it. That's all we do. Yeah, I don't, dude. If I had to take everything so seriously, I wouldn't be able to do this. Lawrence. Sorry, Lawrence. I said Lawrence. I'm like Lawrence. Lawrence A24. It's a great name. Happy Juneteenth, Winston. There you go.
Thank you very much, man.
The Little Yankee. Have a safe and great weekend, gents. Gotta get ready for work. Hope USMNT are successful. Is that soccer or something?
Yeah. The US plays Australia at noon. In an hour and a half.
Okay. Can't wait for House of Dragon season 3 this Sunday. It's awesome. It's awesome. The first episode 1 is incredible. You're gonna love it.
I hope so. I would love that.
Guarantee it. I will put a guarantee that you will love the first episode.
Okay.
The Little Yankee. Hope you get more commercial work, Winston.
Appreciate that, man. It's been really cool seeing it like pop up all over the place. Oh shit! I have people I haven't talked to since 4th grade find me on Facebook and go, "Hey, I'm not crazy, but is that you next to Will Ferrell?" And I was like, yeah, Walter. I haven't spoken to you since we were 10, but yes, that was me, man. So that was pretty cool.
Okay, let's see. Is there a stronger villain from Travis for a new Supergirl that you think should appear? Superman always had better villains. I
don't know. I honestly don't know where you go after this. I'm not even trying to think of next Supergirl because I got to get through first Supergirl and make sure that like there's staying power here. You know what I mean? So I don't know.
Okay, so that right now, again, got more questions coming in. Trying to push Winston over past Roca. If you can get Roca had a good Monday. If we can get Winston past it, he can beat Roca. But if not, Roca will take the victory. Maddie B, I'll say 82.5 for Supergirl opening weekend. Maddie B, you are one of my favorite commenters here. Every day you come in and you say things that I love hearing. That is the craziest take that you have ever put here. If you and I meet in person, my friend, I would bet you 2 steak dinners. There is no world that Supergirl opens at $82 million. Not against Toy Story. Just not gonna happen.
Not with Toy Story out. That's the only thing. If Toy Story wasn't around,
yeah. Are you saying worldwide? Worldwide's possible. Worldwide is possible. 82, probably, definitely. But if you're saying domestically, no. Mad Men, GTA 6 pre-order started June 25th. Didn't it get pushed again? It's highly probable they released a trailer that day.
If they start that's the thing. They never, to my knowledge, did the pre-orders. So if they actually do it, then they're finally done pushing it because they've been pushing it for years. Yeah. But it sounds like it's officially finally happening. So
okay. There he is, Ron H. Where you been? It's Friday. Welcome to Thrusting into Media with BBC. Winston, is BBC still able to penetrate those films, or did it just lay low, being all flaccid? BBC gonna spooch tonight, I think.
I mean, BBC will probably spooch tonight. It is Juneteenth.
Sarah J.
Got no. Fiance.
That's a great interview. Artist supporting artists. There you go. Happy Juneteenth, says B-Town. Thank you, B-Town. Fuzzy Bubbles. Winston is on day 2 this week. He can beat Roka.
Can they be combined? If they can be combined,
if that was the case, no, nope. Samir 84. Happy Juneteenth. Nixon 5. That was
please tell me you love those haikus because those shits were hilarious, bro. My mayor is Muslim. My bagels is Jewish. My Christian Dior Nixon 4. Like that shit was hilarious. A lot of crazy shit going on.
Yeah. Happy Juneteenth, says Samir. Thank you. And then Fuzzy Bubbles. Kristian, I'm still butthurt that you responded. I don't know who that is when I said Krillin during best sidekick game. Tell him to F off, Winston. Sorry. I still don't know. Is that Dragon Ball Z? What is that?
It's Dragon Ball Z.
Oh, look at that.
Goku's best. He's Goku's best friend. He's been around from like nearly the beginning of the original series and all that kind of stuff. So like it is a name that's out there. But again, the only reason that I'm giving Kristian specifically a pass is just because
I don't know
like
shit about anime.
Zero anime.
Yeah.
You know who Goku is, right?
Yeah, I mean, I've heard it. I've heard of the name. He's like the main guy with the hair.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. That at bare minimum, if you understand who Goku is, then but again, the only reason why like I'm a little harder on Smets and I are a little closer in age, and again, Inner Geekdom champion. I'm aware that anime wasn't like in Inner Geekdom, but that means there's a certain nerdy element of you that's like, you know. But no, someone's saying it's because you're the boss. No, I tell Kristian off for shit all the time. That's not what it is. It's
we had a bunch of
arguments. Nothing about anime.
Yeah, we had a bunch of back and forth agreements. Like he knows I just don't know. How am I going to know who it is? All right, let's see. Next one after that, and that is Ron H. Going to watch The Death of Robin Hood, Toy Story, Chapter 5 when he closes the pressure of being Supergirl as God is. Futag Hami Hu Poo. Yeah, he also loved as God is. Like
who did Ron H?
Ron H. Yeah,
dude, it's so good.
People say it's good.
So good.
Screwface. What's up, bud? Happy Juneteenth. I'm raising my fold table Alabama chair in celebration. I tried to watch your live stream from the parade, Kristian. I was confused. I know. What's wrong?
Hey, Screwface, do me a favor, Brody. Go to our Blurs in the Hood episode from yesterday or on Wednesday, and we did a keep 3 cut 4 of the blackest moments the culture has seen. I need you to go watch that and tell me what you think, bro, because I feel like you'd appreciate it.
Yeah, I was getting no reception. I had when I first got to City Hall, I streamed from Instagram and I was getting reception. So I was hornswoggled into believing that I was going to get reception the whole way through. So when I tried to live stream from YouTube, it was just everybody was trying to stream. So I was like, and I just wasn't getting reception. I didn't finally get until the very end. So I just shot a bunch of videos and Kevin got a short for me. But I do have, it's funny. Let's see if I can. The problem is that a lot of these videos that I have, because we posted one and I realized when obviously when you text, the quality dies down.
It goes down. If you send it via iMessage, it will kind of maintain it, but you're going to need to like get some Wi-Fi signal potentially. But if you're sending it via SMS.
I had to do it again. I had to email it, and I emailed them to Kevin instead, and then he put together something. And then I downloaded it straight from the Google Drive instead of trying to get it from his text. And so anyway, it was we basically shot all that stuff and put it out. And that's what I got as far as the footage goes. But I have tons of stuff that and I posted quite a few things on my Instagram also, so you guys can check that out. Okay, let's see. Mike, Winston, how would you rank the Toy Story movies? I love the first 3, but I was indifferent to the 4th one.
I would probably go 3. This is always hard for me because of recency bias, but I think 3, 5, 1, 2, 4.
We were close. I'd go 3, 1, 5, 2, 4. And 2 is amazing.
Yeah, I love 2. Yeah. I love 2.
Yeah. So yeah, that's where I go. And if seeing 5 again, maybe it changes it. I don't know, but it's 5 is amazing. I can't wait to see it with my little one.
Nice.
Travis, I have a good idea. Did I tell you? I've told this story already 3 times, but I know you like Maisie stories. Did I tell you the thing that she said to Sadie? The fans have heard it already 3 times, but I got to tell you because I know you like her little Joe Pesci.
I do.
She's going up the stairs, or Sadie was, and she's singing that song. She's like, "Where's my husband?" Whatever the hell it is, and she's singing the song. And Maisie had a friend over, so they're tying their shoe to go outside the river, and the friend looks up because she hears Sadie belt out. So Sadie goes to hit the high note, and she does, but she hits it, and the kid like kind of laughs and thinks about it and sees it, and then Maisie's sitting there staring at Sadie, and Sadie goes, "Oh, I'm sorry, Maisie, did I embarrass you?" And Maisie goes, without missing a beat. Maisie goes, "Oh, you're embarrassing yourself." So
bro,
good. Sadie's like cracking up.
I really wish you had taken her to the parade because I bet she would have been out there be like, "That's my fucking New York Knicks."
She's hilarious. I mean, she really is. And even I brought that back up to Sadie yesterday. She was laughing. Anyway, okay. So this is Travis. I have a good idea for the villain for next Supergirl. Granny Goodness sent by Darkseid to get Supergirl to be controlled and turned into one of Granny's girls. Use Big Barda and 2 others wreaking havoc. In order to do anything like that, because you're nodding your head yes because you know the story. It sounds ridiculous to me, but that doesn't mean anything because I just know names, right? Granny Goodness. I'm gonna go, what are we doing? Granny Goodness, but could be cool. But you can't do Granny Goodness without a successful Supergirl 1.
No, well, that's the thing. I need to get through Supergirl 1, but that's actually a genius move. There's a very famous storyline of Darkseid uses Granny Goodness to kidnap Supergirl, and then it uses that to fight against Clark. And Clark's like, "I'm not going to attack my cousin," and she's like, "You should, because I'm going to kill you." So, like, I actually think that would be a very interesting, especially if this movie ends the same way that Woman of Tomorrow does. There is this moral, like, point at which Kara has to decide if she's going to say, "Fuck this, I'm going to be a tool of vengeance," or "I'm going to be a hero." If they play that well enough, this actually would be a logical next step of like someone pushing her buttons again.
Speaking of pushing buttons, that's what Entertainment Weekly is doing to me. I don't care about Jelly Roll's marriage. I don't care. They tell me about Jelly Roll's marriage every day. About EW sends me alerts about Jelly Roll's marriage. I couldn't care about anything less in the world than Jelly Roll's marriage. I don't care. I don't listen to his songs. I nothing against him. I don't care. Joshua Gonzalez, Cat in the Hat, 2003 is a masterpiece. You're out of your mind. Okay. Happy Juneteenth. Kenobi was so dog crap. I have zero faith in Disney Plus and shows. Andor was simply an outlier that won't happen again under Filoni baloney. Hard to argue there. I get it. I understand for sure. Casual scroll. I love the premise of Brand New Day's genetic mutation is introducing a mutant into the MCU. Also, Thanos Wemby loading next season.
Thanos ultimately lost. So, I mean, I guess maybe Thanos Wemby is loading, but I don't know. That doesn't really seem like a good plan.
It's like, look, I mean, if he's a great player.
He is.
He's a great player. He's the dirtiest player in basketball.
The dirtiest?
Right now he is. Right now
I would argue it's Shea.
The guy is 7'3", Winston. He's tossing around 6-foot guys like he's a bully.
I understand that 1,000%. And we're talking about different things. You're talking about him being dirty as in like actually like potentially hurting somebody and things like that.
Yeah.
I consider flopping dirty. And so the problem is with Shea, him constantly like
that's cheap and dirty. I mean, like dirty is that you're trying to hurt people.
Yeah, then I still give that to Draymond. I give that to Draymond Green before I go to Wemby.
All right, Wemby right now proved to me that he's the dirtiest player in the game. Jumping, trying to break people, jumping on their feet, throwing at people. It's too bad because he's a really good player. Johnny Patriza, Star Wars Visions was a breath of fresh air. I hope Star Wars Vision Presents the Ninth Jedi is good. Are there shorts that you would like to be fleshed out? Johnny, I know you're going to hate my answer for this, and I'm sorry for people because look, I know and I'm very aware of it that a lot of people still, and I'm so grateful to it, is a lot of people found me from when I did Jedi Council, and and I absolutely loved doing the brand and just being part of the love that was the Star Wars fandom back then, right? And the hope that it had. I don't care as much anymore about like the Tales of the Jedi stuff and all that stuff. And if it wasn't the fact that Darth Maul wasn't going to be so good, I wasn't looking forward to that either. I said I'm giving it one episode, and if it's just the same old shit that they're always giving me, I'm moving on. And it wasn't. It was good. Visions is great. The team that works on Visions is great, and I loved both the seasons. I just don't. I'm kind of in a place where Winston was what he's talking about. I want to be wowed by Star Wars again, like really wowed by Star Wars again. In the same way that like I was bummed with the Yankees in 1991, 92. You know, I was bummed with them in the mid 2000s. But they got back to the World Series. Star Wars can get back to the World Series. It's going to take a long time though.
No, it's going to take a long time.
Yeah. So, all right. Let's see. Next one. Armada 8YT. Also, Sugar Colin Farrell show returns. Good stuff. People like that show. I haven't seen it, but people like it. Yeah. I Am Too Like Cam. Spider-Man. Toy Story 5 will be the biggest movie of the year. No. It will not be the biggest movie of the year, but it'll be one of the biggest movies of the year. Biggest animation movie of the year? Is that what you're saying? Or biggest movie of the year? Because you think, if you're saying 1.5, then you don't think that Spider-Man, which already has topped its numbers or gotten close to the numbers that the other movie, which made 2.2 or whatever the hell it made, it won't get close to that? Or you're saying animated? I'm not sure what you're saying. Yeah, go ahead, Winston.
1.5 is the biggest. I don't know about that, but where would you ultimately rank it? You think if in the top
Story?
5, where do you think it'll finish?
Probably 3.
You think number 3?
3. I think it'll be Doomsday, Spider-Man, Toy Story, Odyssey.
I think that makes sense.
Yeah.
What else is left to come out this year?
Mario already crossed $1 billion. The second one.
You think Mario will keep where it's at 5, or it'll end up at 5 then?
Maybe Michael could do it too. What's Michael at now?
Michael, I thought petered out. I thought it was at 930, or we looked at it yesterday.
We did. Okay.
Like that.
Let's see. Michael's at 937. Yeah. So I'm trying to think of the other movies. I mean, Minions, hit or miss, maybe billion, but I think Toy Story will be 3. Yeah, Odyssey 4. Anything else?
Dune
won't hit $1 billion. Yeah.
Do you think it'll then pass Mario? Because it feels like is Mario still going, or is Mario like tapered out at this point?
Will what pass Mario?
Will Dune pass Mario? Because you said Dune will make $1 billion.
No, I said Dune won't make $1 billion.
Oh, I thought you said Dune will make $1 billion.
No. Okay. Dune won't make $1 billion.
Minions.
I said Minions. That's what I said. I said Minions has a shot. It could hit or miss, because Minions, you go they always play in the range of like 800 to $1 billion, so it's possible. But maybe to go your further point, the fact that Minions is gonna ultimately still be competing with Toy Story, that it might chip off some stuff. So, but yeah. All right, let's see. Johnny Venerable. Give me Tony Gilroy for a Plagueis novel adaptation that includes young Palpatine on Disney Plus. I mean, come on. If they said if there was that, if Tony Gilroy was taking over the Palpatine novel and going to make it into a series, you'd be more hopeful.
Yes.
Right. Travis, do you guys think there is any hope for a Thundercats movie to do well? Well, not being as many kids today have grown up with it, and who could you see as Lion-O and Mum-Ra? Not as a movie. I mean, look, Adam Wingard has wanted to do one for a while, but I think people would be hesitant now because of the He-Man, kind of debacle. I think that these things should be developed into shows, and Voltron's not even coming out in the theater; they're doing it straight to streaming.
I'm not opposed to them being movies, but my issue is I just think you are too late.
Yeah,
I just think it's too, like, right now is the prime time to hit 90s nostalgia. You've just missed that window of hitting the type of people that are going to show out to go to a He-Man movie. Because again, that's more, in my opinion, folks around like your age and Roka's age to do that than, like, you know what I'm saying? Whereas for me, then it would be Power Rangers and, re-upping on Ninja Turtles and all that kind of, you know what I'm saying? So,
okay, let's see. Fuzzy Bubbles. We need Rogue to be a badass. Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
1,000%.
Fuzzy Bubbles not butthurt. I know. Ron H. Winston, watch Hollywood. Might be too cool for Kristian. He's trying to get everybody to watch that.
He brought it up yesterday. Yeah.
Mitch Mack 5223. Sadie Sink said she was playing Time Displaced Jean. That's why she's prior.
There's no way that Sadie said that out loud. That Disney and Sony would be up her ass. I can't believe that. But if that's the case, okay, sure, then that makes a little more sense. But I there's no way Sadie said that.
Let's say. No, there's no news that she said anything like that.
I feel like that would have been the biggest news. It's like because that's
Tom
Holland level of of leaks. No,
that hasn't been said yet. Fuzzy Bubbles. I want a live action Morph.
That'd be fun.
Sure, I don't know what that is.
X-Men 97, the metamorph on the X-Men, the bald one.
I will say I watched, so my X-Men 97 episodes 1 and 2 for season 2 will be coming out. I watched the first 2. I didn't get a chance to see. We had all 4, but I didn't get a chance to before the link expired. So, but digging it so far. Cool. All right. Confessor. Happy Juneteenth, brother, man. Everyone have a great weekend. Thank you very much.
Dude, did I tell you just randomly that triggered something for me, man? Somebody actually hit me up to help punch up some stuff for like a fanfic movie for Shonuff, bro.
Mm-hmm. For what?
For Shonuff.
For play Shonuff?
Like, well, to help me, like, to have me go in and help with the script to work on a Shonuff.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah,
that's great. Now you're aware of what that is.
Dude, the minute I was like, if you knew how much I love that,
Great. Mr. I Crap Kristian, if you want to get back at Ming, eat a breakfast of fried eggs, bacon, baked beans, and a couple glasses of grape juice. I call it the nuke. Yeah.
Yikes.
He was,
Yikes.
I don't know if I would want to do that to him.
No.
Ron H, the bonus can be split in half. It's called math, KH. 1 bonus for numbers of chats, 1 for money. See, Hoods of Toys. Sure. How many sponsors do we have on the show today, Ron? Great. Moving on. PH. Enix, Roy. Hey guys, random question. Plus the fact they don't know. Hey guys, random question. Have you guys made amends with the Blue Fairy? Did you see that? Have you seen that match? Makuga and I, it was a classic moment of the Schmodown. It was one of the first big controversies. One of the first big controversies.
I haven't seen it, so
you should see it. You get a kick out of it.
Okay, all right. Yeah. Which match am I looking for specifically?
Makuga, me versus Makuga.
Okay. You only played each other once.
Well, just go to the Vault channel. The Vault channel.
Okay.
Yeah. It's just season 1. Oshi Yumatsu. Watchmen is my favorite comic book movie of all time. # Mance isn't wrong. People like that one for sure.
I love people that love it. It's in the conversation for me in like my top 20, but I'm not for me. It's not my favorite of all time.
Mr. I Crap and just saw Death of Robin Hood last night. I really liked it. Brutally violent. One scene made me cringe from the thought of it. Jackman excellent in it. I know. I'm so bummed. I missed that screening on Monday because we were taping, but really wanted to see it. Okay, let's see. James Wheeler. I'm not sure if you're aware, but Smets is born in 1979.
Really?
Yeah.
I thought we were closer in age. I thought that Smets was like 42.
Well, no, when you look at he was in Newsies.
He was?
Yeah, he was in Newsies. You ever saw him in that scene? I've got PLD's not here today, but Luke, we should clip out that scene from Newsies when he's on that scene with Bale. It's really great.
That's on me. I genuinely thought that Smets and I were closer in age. I didn't know that.
R.L. Jensen, support for Winston, watching on delay. Really enjoyed your discussion about Star Wars. I think a series about Palpatine's rise would have been awesome, and it's still a shot. I'm telling you, if you watch what they did with that, I can really recommend even the audiobook of Plagueis. Darth Plagueis is great, and it's about the rise of Palpatine, by the way. Orca 447. Just curious, which one did you like more, Inside Out 2 or Toy Story 5? I personally prefer Inside Out, but I love both movies. I personally like Toy Story 5 better.
Toy Story 5.
Yeah.
Because I really, really liked Inside Out 2. My only issue was it felt like they ignored the conclusions they came to at the end of the first film at the beginning of Act 1. So I was like, huh?
Of Inside Out.
And Inside Out. It literally felt like they just forgot that Joy figured out, oh, maybe I should like be more open to other emotions. They went right back and undid that for the first like 30 minutes of that movie. So I was like, oh, dude, come on.
I like Toy Story. I mean, I liked Inside Out 2 a lot for sure.
Did.
But I don't know. I like Toy Story 5. But again, it could be like Winston said, it could be recency bias. Ron H. still banned from the Hooters on Crescent. So yours truly just stayed outside and danced on the sidewalk. I had headphones on and the waitress watched. That's fair. That's fair.
I didn't know they still existed. I thought they declared bankruptcy.
No, not in maybe some parts. Comic Lover at 90. Juneteenth, Afro Latinos all love. Winston, I'd love you to see you do an anime podcast. Chris, let Mike know he's good people. He's our white uncle.
And he down like Shannon Black. So he down with a brown, baby.
There he is. There's my guy.
Perfect. Okay. Geek Lodestars. Hey, everyone. Happy Friday. I just got out Disclosure Day. What a good movie. From the beginning, I was hooked, and that ending was good. I always believed aliens existed once I saw a flying object in the sky dead of night. I would tell you, Geek Lodestars, make sure you follow my Down to Earth with Kristian Harloff channel, please, because all that stuff. But yeah, I really love the movie. I'm surprised at how many people are split on it, but I love it. I stand by it. Did you see it yet or not yet?
Not yet. I haven't seen it yet.
Michael D. Kristian, your thoughts on Jelly Roll's memory? I don't care.
I saw that come in right after you started mentioning about the EW email.
So good. Mr. I Crap and says the only thing I hate about June 19th is moose snuggles that crawl out of shacks to discredit a celebration of freedom.
Yep.
Comic Lover Nerd question: does Winston know what's on my pick?
Yeah, that's the symbol of the royal crest of Vegeta's family, the royal family of the Saiyans.
Let's see. Next one. I am Two Fly Cam. Wemby ain't no punk. He's 90s coded. Loved his game.
I was thinking, the one thing I will say is that him kind of doing that finally, because he was getting pushed around a lot previously, that started to read like Jordan being tired of the bad boy Pistons hitting him around. So he said, fuck it. And he just starts swinging on people. And that's, so there is that, but
Yeah, I don't know. I think that he is a good player. There's no doubt about it. But he's just
he's got to get some. He's got to get a post game.
So you guys never. What are you, 4 years old? Ron H. And destruction is in memory of my mama Hollywood. Shout out to Ryan George Montrealer behind pitch meeting. Barely an inconvenience. I don't get it, but I appreciate it. Johnny Patriza. I'd say it's never too late. Just takes a good story. Yeah, that's the answer for most things. And I agree with you. Mr. I Crap and Shits, Tony Gilroy could do a series about Chewbacca's dung pile and it'd be superior to anything Filoni does in live action. Ouch. I mean, fair. Travis Nickerson, I got the next idea for Thor. Fat Thor versus gross fat Zeus. Do something similar to Simon Pegg's pub crawl in the World Ends movie, trying to get to the end by having to fight off crazy vegan. I couldn't believe anybody liked you get Russell Crowe in a Marvel movie, and that's what you do with him. I couldn't believe that anybody actually. Oh, I saw a few people. I like that. Like, what are you talking about?
I liked the Pantheon scene, but I did not like Russell Crowe in it. I thought that was a weird thing to do. Yeah. I think the arrogance was correct because all the gods are like, we're untouchable. But what they did with Russell Crowe was just kind of weird. Yeah.
Ron, can my chat not be spelling you and Winston? Is just to keep all that money? No, the company does. Winston, you won't be able to get that crack. You can come to Canada. So Ron. So people are aware. Make it aware again. It's not they get a bonus and then if they don't win, they get nothing. Everybody's rates. Okay, that's how it works. People have rates. And then what we also do is we also have editors, we have producers, we have people who are we have rent for the studio, we have things that go into it, and it doesn't cover all. Especially, how many sponsors are on the show today? Thanks. Okay, next thing, GoPack. Tell you guys, please, if you find things that you like about the sponsors, and there are sponsors that you like, please click on those links. That's what I try to tell people. GoPal, support for Winston having to work on Juneteenth. There you go. Perfect. There you go. Ron H. Thank you, Gopal. I was very generous. Thank you. I want an extended remix of Mike's Crackhead Donkey song. Probably going to be on Hood tonight. His hee-haw thing kills me.
What?
It absolutely kills me.
What is he singing?
Well, if you hear it, it certainly sounds like Pearl Jam, but he's trying to sing Creed, which makes it even funnier. But when he was singing Hee Haw, Hee Haw, it kills me. The Hee Haw,
Hee Haw's great.
The best. All right, last one for now. Comic lover Winston, cold with it. Definitely need an anime podcast.
The fact that I said it like off rip, like I was really like, yeah, man, that's the same royal symbol, baby.
Yep.
What the hell are you talking about? Who are you talking to?
Fair.
Is that clip of Jim Carrey? Is that from Me, Myself, and Irene? No.
No, you've never seen the Truman Show?
I have seen the Truman Show. It's just been that is Truman Show. Duh.
Yeah.
I have seen Truman Show. I completely forgot. That was way too serious to be Me, Myself, and Irene.
Favorite bits.
What? Which? Him? Who are you talking to?
He's talking to Laura Linney is talking, and she's like doing all the advertisements. And
yeah.
Who are you talking to? What are you doing?
That one's good too. I love his 3 black adopted sons from Me, Myself, and Irene. That's hilarious.
It's fine. All right, Winston, we did it. We made it. Look, 72 questions. Very generous donations in general by some of the regulars and new people in general. So, where can the good people find you when they're looking for you?
You can find me at the Swaggy Blurred on all platforms, especially on YouTube. Go check out my Toy Story 5 Out of the Theater reaction, other stuff I got popping up there. You can see me on Tuesdays with Roca for Spill the Tequila. You can see me Wednesdays on Blurreds in the Hood, myself and Jay Washington, which we have launched our Patreon. So check that out. See if a tier that works for you. Obviously here on Fridays. And then just if you follow me on socials when I got stuff going on, you will find out.
Thank you so much, Winston. Thank you to you guys. Thank you for the entire week. So Sunday, Sam and I, our reaction for House of the Dragon Season 3, Episode 1 will be up directly after the episode drops. Monday, well, actually, next weekend's reactions will probably be a little limited because I need to get Ming in here to do Invincible, but his schedule is a little wonky next week, and then Sam's is also, so we'll probably be on a little delay next week, but we'll have the Supergirl reaction and review and spoiler stuff for next week for sure. So if you're asking, like, where are those reactions? They're coming. There is one more. Ron H. Oh, I've definitely seen Pitch Meeting on YouTube. It's awesome. Could have sworn you've seen a couple of the years. Ryan George is really funny. Sorry, did he ask you that, Winston? If you had never seen it?
Maybe, but I've seen Pitch Meeting. No, he is really funny.
Pitch Meeting is hilarious. Okay. So where'd that come from?
What?
Oh, it's the other one. That's what he brought up. Oh, I see. Luke just brought that up. Okay, I see. Yes, I've seen Pitch Meeting. Sorry, I didn't get it. Apple Podcasts, Spotify, anywhere podcasts are born. Yeah, anywhere they're born. If they're born somewhere, just follow us over there. Ron H also says put Hollyweed in comments. Now, remember what I said to you guys. In just about an hour from now, we are going to be premiering the finals of the first tournament ever to declare the first movie trivia Schmodown champion ever, the end of season 1, the season that really started it all off. Josh McCouga versus Mark Riley. It is up on the channel at 3 p.m. Go on over there and, be a part of it. Subscribe to that channel today. Let's try to get it to 2,000 subscribers. That would be wonderful. Already at over 1,500. So it's pretty good. I think there was another one that came in real quick. Hold on. I see Ron Perlman as the voice of Darkseid. That's a great choice. It's pretty good.
That'd actually be a really good voice for that.
How does Arnold survive the back rooms? Easy. First of all, it depends on what year I'm going in there. Am I going in there when I'm young? I walk in there, go, come on, what are you going to do? I stop the back room there. Someone come and they try to do something, and there's some crazy, big, stupid thing who's moving around like this. It's stop it. And I grab him, and then I'd hit him. And if now, I would just offer him a cigar. And I say, sit down, talk to him. Don't get angry. Don't start making weird faces with your big eyes. Just have a conversation here. Sit down. Here's whiskey. Here's Lulu. Thank you. Thank you, Arnold. Perfect.
Wow.
Eating is not cheating. Last word, mic drop from Ayoshi. Thank you very much. Appreciate that. Okay. You guys rule. Thank you kindly. Thanks to Winston. Thanks to Luke. Thanks to PLD. Thanks to Jonathan. Thanks to everybody who helps this show get made, and for our wonderful peeps, Sam and MK, for doing the time codes. Go join the Discord. Do all that and more. See you guys real soon. Appreciate it. See you on the flip side.